I have forgotten and had to go steal my own podcast from YouTube. Thank God I live streamed it. So, we had an episode we got probably 45 minutes in and forgot to hit record. Yeah, that was brilliant.
It was a good time.
That was brilliant. Smooth move by me.
It was.
All right, let's see here. We are live and
no viewers.
Can we hear you? Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. No. That's usually because I start the stream and we don't talk. We talk in silence, right? Like you and I talk, Jay, but not through the mic. We mute them and put it on starting soon. So people will filter in. Have you ever spoken with Robbie or John?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah. So 8-Bit Supremacy is Robbie. He lives in Chicago. John is Retro Game Enthusiast. He lives now in Kansas City, just bought a house there, but he moved from Fort Wayne a little while ago. Both good.
I saw him moving all of his boxes.
Yep. Just a good guy, and both are good guys. Boo. We got a boo. Is that Art of Nintendo Power? I don't know what that is. That sounds very long and confusing. So
who is this Neil O Power fella?
Yeah, who's
that's in here?
Yeah. Yee boy. Oh man. So but yeah. No, usually wait a couple minutes and let people start filtering in, and then we'll get started here. But yeah. And I will do the intro. I will introduce you, and I will obviously introduce Jay.
Maybe.
And then we'll go from there. Hey, pick an order. I'm talking to Jay, by the way, here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pick an order for the and let me ask you this, Johnny. Would you rather, when we do the rating part later, do you want to go first? Do you want to go last? When would you like to go? It's up to you. Last. All right. So Johnny's going last.
Okay.
Also, just as a warning, my son will probably interrupt us at some point.
Whatever.
The more the merrier, bud. So that's cool. Jay ain't nothing to fuck with. Yeah, that's right. He's got the Wu-Tang shot.
That's right.
Yeah, Jay's rocking the Wu-Tang shirt. I went
the deck.
I went thematic.
I wear the shirt all this time.
I went Konami. I had to, you know.
Do you have a pen?
They're over there in the cup holder. I moved them all. So, and let's see here.
We should probably be courteous to our guest. Hi, Stefan.
Yes.
So, welcome to the show, friend.
Yeah, John's not a guest. He's on all the time.
Yeah.
But hello, Stefan. Let's see here. Yeah, this is all very loose, and we'll have fun. Like what I was getting at earlier is we may have to do like a different take. I do edit the show, just because there are times when we do things that we don't want, in the podcast or whatever. But there may be a time where I say, oh, we got to do that again or whatever it is. It's not very often. So,
yeah. Whatever you guys need, just let me know.
What are you going to do after Johnny kills your show? That's a great question. I've been thinking about that for a couple of weeks. Like maybe I'll start a different podcast where I talk about, I don't know, farming or I don't know. I got to do something else.
I'm going to create a auction podcast and nothing's going to be over $4.25.
That's right.
Ironically, everything I'm going to sell is going to be Mike's.
Yeah, that's a terrible deal for me. So, I don't like this deal at all.
It's kind of just a spin-off. It's almost like a spin-off. So it's like, for those old folks, it's like the Ropers of Three's Company.
Oh, yes.
So that's where we go.
Yeah, well, we'll come and knock on your door.
Yeah. Well, R.I.P. Norman Fell. I mean, what a loss.
Yeah. That's
Mr.
true.
Roper himself.
Yeah.
Breaking the fourth wall.
I mean, I'm not into Mr. Roper. I preferred when it was, lost his name.
Mr. Furley?
Don Knotts. Yeah.
Don Knotts? Well, of course you did.
Don.
Who doesn't love Don Knotts?
All that makes me think about is Serial Mom in the beginning when you hear the guy go, Don fucking Knotts.
Don fucking Knotts.
And you're like, what? And then it fades in. It's like an oil painting of Don fucking Knotts.
Yeah, he says Johnny's a little low. I was worried about that.
Hers and his. Three's Company.
Three's Company. So they're saying that your volume is a little low. I'm going to boost you up as much as I can on this end, and then let's see if we can.
I've turned myself up. So is this better for y'all?
This sounds better to me. Let me know if this sounds better. We've got Bird Dog Gaming is here. Hello, sir. Just shipped him Seiken Densetsu 3.
I just said, do you have to get a lousy shelf collector for this episode?
Oh man, wow.
Bird Dog, you should just be happy there are 2 podcasts on that you can take from.
Mattio's here. What up, Mattio? And Clearvis, who's been on. So, it sounds better. Everybody says it sounds a little bit better. Yeah, so that's good. Okay, if we have problems, let me know. We'll do our best. I don't know how I can bring it up any further from here, though.
My gain is all the way up, so I'm not sure.
I think we're pretty well maxed out here too, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, it sounds better. I'm here for the Castlevania chicks, says Tiger Wolf Games. So we got a good crew in the chat today, Johnny. So yeah, so don't fuck up, okay?
Wow.
I don't know any of these people anything. Fuck them.
That's right. You know what? We're just gonna kick everybody out of chat, and you and I will talk for the next 3 hours. Jay, you can stay.
What do I need these guys? Get out of here.
That's right.
Do you have a Discord to chat on?
Yeah, go get a life.
Where's our, how, so nobody's on the Discord right now? What the hell's going on?
They've all moved over here.
How am I going to get those advertising dollars?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Damn it, man. Oh man, we don't need that kind of stuff around here.
I am going to backtrack. I know we were joking about Johnny being the show killer, but Stefan, I am convinced that we're breaking that today.
Yeah.
His 100% record's going to be gone after tonight.
I'm going to post this episode on Monday, and I'm going to get hit by a bus.
No shit.
And then we'll be like, well, that was Johnny's fault. And he's like, yeah, probably.
Nah, you guys are just in Michigan. You might accidentally drink your own water.
Yeah.
That's true.
God,
Yeah.
you suck.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here.
Hey, it's not my fault your water's fucked up. I'm from liberal California. We're trying to like vote to get you guys good water.
Yeah. Well, my water's fine. It was the inner city that was the problem. I never had an issue.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're good.
From the suburbs. We're good.
Yeah, I'm from the.
You guys are like, oh, we're all right.
Yeah.
No, my aunt, they complained about some of the water issues.
Yeah,
As I mentioned to you guys, I have family from Michigan.
Yeah, but that didn't have anything going on in Pinconning. It's like an hour away from here.
They are also a bunch of dramatists. So
Oh yeah.
fuck them.
Okay.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's the reason I'm not like super into that family.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good point. That's why, like you said, you're not a fan. So, all right.
Fan of Michigan.
I don't know if I can tolerate that. We might have to cut you off.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Michigan.
We ready?
It's not like you're Texas.
No, we don't drink water.
Oh God, no. Don't say that.
Tiger Wolf just
Don't
said,
you ever
come
say
on,
that.
fellow dads, you don't drink water.
The only
do you?"
water I drink is cold filtered with barley and hops.
There you go.
I'm just kidding.
Fresh off the Colorado Rocky Mountains.
That's right. That's right. Bush beer. Head for the mountains. We ready to go?
Sure.
I hear that in the background. Whatever that is, turn that down.
Is it turned on?
Why is that on?
Don't worry
Stefan, are
about
you
it. I do this
officially
every
quitting
week.
on the show?
What's that?
Check me shut off.
Just asked if Stefan was officially quitting on this show.
Well, apparently there's a co-host spot open, so it's either.
Oh, cool. No, I just see that. Yeah, no, perfect. Okay, you know what? So that works right in. Jay, you just go over to Collector's Quest, and I'll sit at home and cry and listen to it.
Okay, that's fine. Johnny, do you want to break the bad news to Tyler that I'm going to be on the show, or do you want me to go ahead and do it? Stefan seems on board because he said there's a co-host spot open. So
Yeah.
apparently I'm good to go.
I like how he's like,
maybe we just haven't got the bad news that Tyler quit. At which point I would just cancel the whole show.
yeah, because then you'd have to do all the work.
Yeah. I mean, I used to, and it sucked.
I would say I'd do it, but I already know I'm not going to.
Retro VG's here. He's the Phileo. Is that how you say it? I don't ever know. I read it all the time. Is it Phileo? Phileo? The Phileo. I don't know. Anyway,
Oh, from the Discord.
Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fleo. Got it. Okay. Perfect. All right. Cool. I'm gonna hit the intro and then
what order was Johnny going in?
Johnny going last.
Johnny's
so you
going
pick the
last.
rest. I'll go first. I don't care.
Okay.
Whatever you want. We just have to do.
Ooh, we're
We've
gonna
gotten
mix
better
up.
at determining these things beforehand. So, ready?
Yep, I got it.
All right.
I got to guess everybody's.
The only rule is don't talk over the music unless I do. No, I'm just kidding. He muted himself. Jay muted himself. All right. Here we go. Welcome back to the Lost Joystick Network. Episode 31. What's wrong with my voice?
Why are you asking me?
Why are you muted?
Because I didn't want to talk. I
All
knew
right.
I was going to be possessed to talk.
Welcome back, everybody. Lost Joystick Network, episode 31. My name is Mike, joined as always by my co-host Jay. Jay, say hello.
What up?
Jay, we have a special guest that is dialed in today. Why did you do that?
I don't know. I was trying to act excited.
You want to tell the people who's on with us?
Ooh, can I?
Tell the peoples.
I need a drum roll. We don't have a drum roll, do we? That's a terrible drum roll.
I'm doing my best over here. It's a hollow table.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
Just tell him.
So, we actually, tonight we have the one and only from the Collector's Quest podcast, Johnny Iucci.
Welcome.
Hi. How's it going?
Good, good. How are you?
Oh, hanging in there, just trying to stay out of the heat, because weather is the most interesting thing to talk about. So come in hot.
I always love when I'm on like a sales call. I'm a pre-sales engineer, and when I'm on a sales call, when nobody has anything to talk about, they're always like, "So what's it like in Michigan today?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, are we talking about the weather?" Come on.
Oh no, are we talking about weather again? Yeah. But even in like our office where everyone is, the first thing everyone did after the weekend was come in and just talk about how ungodly hot it was. So
I know it was hot. I live here. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just everyone's just like, how hot was it where you were? It's like, well, we live relatively close to each other, so I don't know, melting. I was melting. Did you melt? All right. Anyways, no one wants to, please take control of your podcast and get me away from the weather.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna. So I guess that instead of melting, we could say and so the shiver of the night has arrived in Mr. Iucci.
I was actually going with it's so hot your balls are sticking to your leg, but either way.
We'll edit this out. That can go.
No, you won't.
That's trash.
You'll talk about it, but you won't edit it out.
I got $1 for anyone who knows where that came from.
I know. I believe I know. I'll wait. We can wait in the chat and see if anybody comes up with what it is. And so the shiver of the night has arrived.
Anyone? Where's it from? Let's see, chat. You got something for me?
It doesn't matter what Maddie.
$1.
You're just like me. I will give you $1. I do that at the poker table. Like, who sings this song? I will give you $1 if you can name who sings this song.
Well, apparently, Valdor's
sorry, we're not listening, says Valdor.
What? All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna wager my guess. Is that not what the actual translated version of What a Horrible Night for a Curse is in Simon's Quest?
I don't know if it's the translated version, but it definitely is the Japanese version.
Right.
Of it.
I should have said in the Famicom version or Famicom Disk System version.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to.
Yep.
Can't speak out of turn tonight. This guy makes lists. Okay. Yeah.
And
good lists.
The closing. The nightmarish night has finally ended. Is the closing. So I don't know. What a horrible night to have a curse is pretty good. Pretty great. Iconic. I would say better than the Japanese versions, but someone might disagree.
It's more memorable as a now 47-year-old. I certainly would. If you would have said that to me, what a horrible night to have a curse, I'd have been like, you ruined my childhood.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
I love that game.
We did too. We actually did that one.
We're not here to talk about that today.
No, we are not.
I almost picked that, but I was like, let's not do another just Nintendo game. Let's do a Super Nintendo game.
Exactly. It's better. It's super. So with that, Johnny, how has your week been? How's the weather?
How's the weather? It's hot. Hi, guys. The week's going fine. Everything's great here. It's so good.
Are you hot too?
Who?
Are you hot too?
Yeah. Oh my God. I am absolutely sweating over here. You guys should see it. It's triple digits. Oh my. Yeah, no, it's awful. No, I'm hot. I'm doing great. I'm here. What better? I've been looking forward to this. I actually played a video game rather than just talking about buying them. So that's good. And I get to, talk to people, not Tyler and Stefan. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I've got to say,
it sounds like your day's going up from here.
Everything's trending up. Everything's coming up Millhouse. That's funny because part of the reason I started doing this show was to force myself to play the games I had. I was like, you have all these games you purport to love, but you never play them. So play them. And that's what I've been doing. So, and then I made Jay do it too.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Jay. So everything's good with you. Have you anything else, or should I move on to Jay about how things are going?
Oh no, I would like to know how you guys are doing.
Oh well,
nobody ever wants to know how Mike's doing.
No, they don't. But I that's why I was like so optimistic. I was like, wow, I kind of teared up for a second there. Wow.
I just normally stare at him blankly until he finally tells me what's going on.
Go ahead, idiot, is usually the look in your eye.
Yeah, let's go. We got shit to do.
So, Jay, what have you been up to?
Not a whole lot. Playing video games, weirdly.
Yeah.
So apparently my video game collection just grew. Actually, in part because of Johnny listening to the show. So, Johnny, you don't know this one, but I decided I ended up borrowing a PlayStation 4 from a close friend that owns a video store, Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's on the last episode.
Yeah.
Kyle has a back stock of, what is it, Death Stranding PS4s in the back?
I didn't even care. I'm like, they all play the same.
And Kyle's like, you can borrow one. I have like 100 of these things right now.
But I ended up borrowing one of those from him and a copy of The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
Because Johnny, I know you've been talking about that, and Mike was talking to me about it, and so I'm like, I got to get into it.
At all times.
Yes, I agree.
So
I agree.
So I've got it. Haven't started yet. I got it over the weekend.
Whoa!
I got it over the weekends, and I made the mistake of getting a copy of Tony Hawk 1 and 2. So I was skateboarding my heart out.
And you said you haven't started playing it yet?
No, I have not started playing it yet.
Get off the stage!
I love it.
Anyway.
All right. But no, I did get it, and I got it simply because of, I hate to give Mike credit, so I'll just give it all to you, Johnny. Simply because you were talking about it, Johnny.
I'll take it. And, if you ask Tyler, I'm clearly taking credit for a lot of things. So
yeah, no.
All his hard work, typically.
I hope I'm not giving any spoilers away, but I do have a question for Johnny. Johnny, have you gotten any semblance of, I guess, happiness out of, like, have they figured anything out to get you farther in the game? Because I know you were stuck at
that was 2.
90. Yeah, and 2. I know you were stuck at like 99.9%.
We have a good update.
Yeah. So, yes. So for anyone who was worried, though, I had beat it before. So we're okay there. I had beat it. So it wasn't like I was not experiencing the end of the game. But yeah, they patched it. Like right after I did that episode, I went downstairs and I just turned it on. I'm like, is this even going to do anything? And lo and behold, it updated. And then I went and beat the game. It was awesome.
That's awesome. That rules. I even told my wife about that. She's not a video game person at all. And she just sits there and stares at me for a minute. And she was like, I bet he was pissed. I don't know. I think he might have been.
Having beaten that game myself and getting to that point in the game, and when I heard him, like my heart broke. I was like, oh my God, I know exactly where he is. And he's like literally on the doorstep of the last thing that you do in the game. Like you can't beat it. So anyway, but it was
really annoying. It would be like reading a book and ripping out the last 10 pages.
Oh, that sounds awesome. No, not at all.
So everything's good with you, Jay.
Yeah, everything's
You've been
great.
Playing a lot of games,
video games, which is really strange.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just sit here and talk about how I know absolutely nothing about video games for 2 hours with you.
That's pretty much no different than any other time we're on. So
yeah. Pretty well. Every time. We're on.
Oh yeah, every time. So I have kind of been doing the same thing. I've been playing on the PS5. I got the remastered Last of Us on there. I started playing it.
Oh, you got to one up the PS5 just because I got a 4 now. I'm joking. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, well, I'll edit this and just say I was also playing The Last of Us. I won't mention what version though, everybody. No.
Actually, you should just cut and paste my PS4 on, so then it's you talking going, I was also playing The Last of Us on the PS4.
PS4. Like edited in.
I mean, I'll join you. I also played it on the PS5 a little bit this.
Ooh.
Two Mr. Fancy Pants over here.
Get good over there.
Got Mr. California on the phone.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. It's rich Californians.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Never mind how much our houses and our taxes are. We have plenty of money to survive.
Disregard all that. So, but
next thing you're going to tell me is it's hot out there.
Yeah, it's hot. And I'm so rich and fancy. I bought the special edition.
Yeah. Oh, me too. I mean, why would you waste your money on anything else, Johnny?
The burning question is, do you play it with your pinky out?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's for both of you. Actually,
it depends on if am I trying to like shoot a bow? I might.
Oh, well.
It depends. Anyway, but yeah, so I've been doing kind of the same. I actually played quite a bit of the game we have for the show, and God, I don't even know what else. I feel like I've played a lot of stuff this week. What else? I played something else on PS5 before I got into because I was waiting for Last of Us, and I was like,
oh, you know what we played on PS5 over the weekend that neither one of us talked about?
Oh, yes.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you take it.
We played Shredder's Revenge.
Hell yeah, we did.
We started playing that. So Jay and I started to, what do they call it now? The kids call it the couch co-op now.
Yeah.
Jay was at my house, which is weird for people, that are younger than us, but people come over to other people's houses and play games. So yeah, we were doing that, and but it was funny because I had The Last of Us itch because I knew it was coming on like the 2nd or whatever it was, and I was like, man, I really want to play it. And I was ready to start it on the PS4, and I'm like, no, wait, what are you doing? Like, just wait a couple of days and it'll be fine. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been up to. The same old playing some video games, and so
don't forget we beat Ultimate Mortal Kombat a couple times for Matteo.
That is true. So
that needs to be. So we need to really announce that. Like, we've got a pretty good group here right now. I want to make sure everybody's aware. If you're not following Matteo on Instagram, you should.
Matteo 1989.
Yep. And if you are, he loves when you show him videos or send videos of you beating any of the Mortal Kombat series. So Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Hell, you can beat Mortal Kombat 3.
Matteo's in the chat says, it's so stupid.
No, it's not. He loves it. He acts like he hates it. He loves it. He gets so excited. I know he is so sad and let down if he misses a day without getting somebody beating Mortal Kombat.
I'm going to tell you a secret. Sometimes I beat it and I don't take a picture and tag him because I feel like I beat it so much. Anyway.
What do you... never mind.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Well, Johnny, thanks for coming to the show.
We have a link tree and anyway.
Yeah.
So let's
No, really don't leave. Please don't leave.
Please don't leave. We want to move into collecting?
Sure.
Johnny, you ready to move into the collecting section of the show?
I'm always ready.
He's always ready.
On to the collecting section of the show. Episode 31 of the Lost Joystick Network. Normally, I would start with our guest, so I'm gonna. Johnny?
Oh, okay.
What have you picked up lately? Anything? What the hell's wrong with me today?
I don't really buy games anymore.
Do you just reorganize your shelves?
Yeah, no, I've been selling. No, of course, I bought a bunch of dumb stuff because I'm a dummy. Hey, I'm sure you guys all want the exciting updates from like what Wii games I bought this week.
Did you get Silly Bands again? Any Silly Bands games? I got to hear about the Silly Bands.
Yes, I got Pack World with exclusive Walmart edition with rubber bands.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go.
You asked and I delivered.
You did. You know what? That was not
Johnny
staged.
coming through in the clutch.
that was organic, everybody. Unfortunately.
So I bought Pro Evolution Soccer 2012 for the Wii. Pretty exciting, right? PES series, guys.
Nothing. Hey, nothing says collecting like a wall of white Wii cases.
I said Pac-Man World, but it's Pac-Man Party. I just want to.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
I got 2 Spyro games for the Wii: Eternal Night and Dawn of the Dragon. Yay!
Wheelie.
Yeah, Wheelie.
I'm gonna use Wii quotes now.
Go on vacation?
Oh, Go Vacation.
Oh, Go
That's
Vacation.
the title of a game for the Wii. Very exciting.
That is Wii-some.
Sorry, I'm killing the podcast.
This is how it happens. This is how it happens.
Yeah, this is how it happens.
Shit.
I also bought. I'll reveal some secrets to you. This sword will reveal some wondrous secrets. Dracula for the Intellivision. Normally, I save this stuff for Halloween.
Yeah.
I got Dracula on the television, so
Nice.
Getting
that was
inside
pretty
scoop.
sweet. I did buy a Wii U, Zombie U Deluxe, the console.
I just
So
bought a
that's
Wii
pretty
U myself to play. And you know what? Yeah, it's just funny you say that. Go ahead.
And then I got, I'm telling all my secrets exclusively for your guys' audience, which is also my audience.
You'll hear it here first.
No, they won't.
The Blair Witch Project. So back in the late 90s, early 2000s, that game actually had computer games, like PC games.
Yeah, I'm well aware. Yep.
Yeah. So Rust and Parr and I got Volume 3, the Ellie Kedward Tale. I still need Volume 2. It's the big boxes. Yes, there's a DVD set that I could have got, but I wanted the original big boxes.
There were 3, right? Was I right that there were 3 Blair Witch big box PC games?
That's correct.
Yep.
And there is a pack where you can get them all on just a DVD set. And there's some other compilations that you can get, but these are the big box ones.
Yep.
And they're pretty exciting. Also, if you guys didn't know, Blair Witch, for the Rust and Parr, the first one, it had its own companion novel.
Ooh.
Which you can get. So I also bought that because I'm gross.
I didn't even know there were Blair Witch games. I never knew they even made them.
I remember when they came out on the PC. It was like 99, probably right around 99, 2000, because I had just moved. Remember, I had moved to Atlanta, and I just remember I remember those coming out right around that time. So,
are one of the achievements on that game to hold a shitty camcorder as unsteady as possible and make everyone want to vomit?
It's old enough that it doesn't have achievements.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it has them. Well, you know what? But we could make some. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yes, it does now.
Ah, sweet.
Everybody accomplishes that one. So, anything else? What else you buying?
You guys want me to tell you about Harry Potter books? No, you don't. So I bought some of those for my wife.
I was gonna say, didn't you just get your wife collection? It was from another country though, wasn't it? Like German print or something?
Yeah, no, she collects Harry Potter books from all over the world, but I'm the one who actually does the collecting.
Correct.
She's like, I want stuff, but you know how to do it. So basically, she's just like, fetch these for me. And I'm like,
do my bidding.
Yeah, of course I mentioned Harry Potter. God damn Tiger Wolf in the chat.
Yeah, I'm cracking up at what is it? Stefan says, you're watching it live. This is the end.
Yeah. So, and they asked me, okay, and they asked me, and then I didn't say it, and then they prompted me for more stuff. I didn't want to do it. They made me.
You pushed me into a corner. Didn't you get Did you get anything else? I mean,
yeah, probably. But I don't know what else at this point.
That's not enough. Stuff, guys. Give us more. I'm joking.
I can think of one thing that I know you got.
I feel like just to spite Tiger Wolf, we should talk Harry Potter.
What's that?
What else did I?
I think you got some games for me.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
I kept trying to lead you into it, and you're like talking about Harry Potter books. This is where I rank. I get it.
Yeah, no, I haven't documented your stuff yet because I just opened the box before I came upstairs. I literally got home at 4:45. Had to come up here at 5. Got the box yesterday, but I was out at an event all night. Got home at midnight. So I came home. I opened the box. I'm like, oh, awesome! The games came, and like I pulled the pencil out, which was awesome. So I got some pencils. Some Lost Joystick stickers. They're awesome. And then I got a bunch of Super Famicom games. Super Metroid, one of my favorites. I got Final Fantasies and Dragon Warriors and an exclusive Donald Duck Disney game, which is, I forget the name of.
Donald Duck in the magical hat is the, it's like the translated, it's no Moshu, I forget what it is, but yeah, good game.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm super pumped. That game's actually, a little expensive and a little tough to get.
Yep.
Like, and also there's like 2 Disney games that didn't get released in America for some reason, which you think it's a Disney game, like has to get here.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a GBA one, but like most of them come here. So getting that one off the list was pretty awesome. You guys know I love to collect me some Disney stuff.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad I could help out. So awesome.
Did you get Clevis's games yet?
No.
Oh, sorry, Clevis.
Love you, Mike. Yeah, Mike.
You're still waiting on one of them, aren't you? Or
I think I have them now.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think I've got. They're set aside. I just need to ship them. So
want to make sure I called you out in front of everyone.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that.
I'm gonna kick you in the shin later.
I also haven't shipped anything to Valdor yet. So thanks. Yeah, cool.
Well, he'll rate you 3.5 anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
okay.
It doesn't matter. Okay, cool. Is that it? We good? Johnny,
now I know what the prompts were. Yes. So.
He's like, yes, for God's sake,
for the love of God. So let's see here. What did I buy? Usually I write it down.
Yeah, clearly you didn't.
I did not.
Well,
okay.
I got a PS4.
Yeah, you got a PS4.
And I got Last of Us.
I remember what I got. I got it all right here. Hold on. I'm going to take my headset off for a second.
Oh, okay.
Bring it over here.
All right, Johnny's gone. How you doing, buddy? You doing good?
Pretty good, yeah.
Okay.
Do you know it's hot here?
Is it really? It's not that hot here. It's actually pretty cool
back
here.
to the weather real quick. I want to just keep talking about it.
Yeah, we should. I think we should talk about Harry Potter. Oh, hold on. He's back.
I'm back. Is it? Hey, is it hot there?
Put your shirt back on.
Never. Okay, so picked up a couple of things on eBay, and then I also did a little trolling on the Heritage Auction site a couple weeks ago. So let's see here. Number one.
Clear to let stuff. You got another arcade cabinet.
A little foreshadowing. Not yet, although I looked at a couple.
Oh, God.
I haven't. I didn't. I went through a little bit of a buying phase with the arcade cabinets, Johnny. So I kind of picked up a few very quickly.
I've heard about your arcade one-ups, and I don't approve.
They're not arcade one-ups.
No, they're OGs.
They're
Okay.
no.
They're
I have
OGs. He's got
Mortal
5.
Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Bad Dudes, and then a Neo Geo MVS are the 4. And then I have a fifth
You
one.
have an empty.
I've got a Mortal Kombat cabinet with everything. I need to get a monitor and a wiring harness, but that's neither here nor there. So no, they are not arcade one-ups. So I'm not a peasant. Anyway, I'm kidding. That was a joke. I'm trying to be pompous as I can.
You arrogant bastard.
Oh no, I've got the real thing over here. We don't do fake ones.
You know what? If you're gonna have an opening on the show, you gotta have a new fat cat. I can slide right in. That's perfect. This is working out. I'm just kidding.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. So picked up a couple things and a bit of foreshadowing. I grabbed a couple Famicom games. I got if you're watching the stream right now, you can see I've got a complete in box Arkanoid for Famicom, and then I've got the sequel, Electric Arkanoid Olu, Arkanoid 2, which is
So just after you got the last Arkanoid, you were like, I need more Arkanoid.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was like, you know what? The regular one is fine if you're, whatever. But I had to have 1 and 2.
And just for the record, he
can't
was
just have
looking
one.
at an Arkanoid cabinet. You were.
You
almost bought it.
It was $400. It was a good deal. I had to close marketplace. I'm like, okay, don't look at this. Just go back in a week, and if it's still there, buy it.
You arrogant bastard.
So yeah, so I grabbed those, and then I grabbed a couple things off Heritage Auctions because I like to go pick things off of Heritage Auctions when they are cheap. So what is it? You rich, arrogant bastard with your drinking water and your arcade cabinets. I've got it all, Clearvis. I've got it all. But every Tuesday, I know you probably know this, Johnny, but every Tuesday, Heritage Auctions has what they call a mini boss video game auction, right? And it's a proxy bid auction, and then it goes live at like 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can, if you don't really care about the condition, you can score some deals. So, and I did a couple. So one of them I grabbed was Super Mario Galaxy 2 for the Wii. This is an 8.0B, which is trash for a Wii game. Okay. If you look at it,
That's ridiculous.
it looks okay. It is. You're right.
You really want me to stop. Huh?
Oh, man. Anyway.
We really need to move him on.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, I'll stop. Go.
So this game, like with every time you buy a game from Heritage, there's like a buyer's fee, which is whatever it is. An auction fee is like $29. This game before that was a $29 game. So I bought this game graded for $29. Super Mario Galaxy 2. Complete, it's a sealed Wii game.
Why is it 8.0 though? Why is it so
I don't
bad?
know. Who
What
cares?
is wrong with it?
But who gives a crap?
I'm just curious because I've never seen like.
But I just kind of go for $29. I mean, it's just something I can put on the shelf and it looks stupid, which is perfect for me.
Also, I resent the fact that you're like, Johnny, you probably know. I don't buy from Heritage Auctions. What would I know about it?
I heard you were.
I thought you meant no. I meant
heard you
more
were,
about the.
You were quite a fan of Heritage.
Yeah, I meant more along. Go ahead.
Everyone's always like, Johnny's such a shill. He loves him some Heritage Auction and Wada with my 0 graded games. No, I hate that shit.
I'm gonna
I've
mail you
actually
one.
Never ever heard you.
I'm
say
mailing
that,
you
but
one
either
so
way.
you have one. That's it. I'm gonna find one of these. I'm sending you that triple threat, the Intellivision triple threat. That was a $1 bid. Anyway,
So Stefan said, "How do you get an 8?" Just like I did. He says there's semen on it. Not that I can see.
I mean, there was earlier, but I cleaned it off.
You can have that back.
It's not what you said earlier.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, moving on. And the coolest thing I bought, which I thought anyway, was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Wii U. It is a VGA graded game, the first one I've ever gotten. It's an 80 plus, which is relative to like a 9.0-ish type grade if you compare it to WADA. And I paid
Are
50.
you sure? Did you read the crossover article that they keep pushing on you?
I'm just guessing. I don't know. Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
There's seriously a crossover article that I've been said about 1,000 times, and I'm like, I don't care. Talk about the most irrelevant thing to me in the whole world.
I don't care. Please stop. I don't have either of these things. Why are you sending me these? But anyway, it is Breath of the Wild for Wii U, 80 plus, whatever, whatever that means. And it was $55. So it is not the first print. It has the 2 controllers, not the 7 controllers. So it's garbage. Nobody wants it. It's trash. And I figured for $55, it's a sealed Zelda game that's pre-graded and it can go on the shelf because I love this game. So
it's disappointing.
You know what's more disappointing? Nothing really. That's as disappointing as it gets. Is that I bought a VGA graded Zelda game.
The VGA cases, I will say, is disgusting as the graded thing is. The VGA cases are way cooler looking than the WATA ones.
They are much cleaner. The WATA, we don't have to sit and talk about WATA very long, but I'm going to tell you, I don't really care for that stuff. Like the cases are pretty ugly. Like they don't do a good job.
They're horrid.
Yeah.
They're horrid.
Yeah.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, the VGA case is not like a work of art, but you know what it is?
Clean.
It's not hideous.
No, it's clean.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. So here's a story because Stefan's here. He and I got invited to Fat Cat over there, Art of NP. We were invited like early before they had formed to like look at these cases, and our feedback to them was like, all of this sounds great for your audience, but these cases are rough at best. Like that was our main feedback. He and I both were like in our written feedback, like these cases are not good. And hey, there they are, despite that feedback.
They're not good. I think they're horrible. Like I said, the VGA ones look so much nicer. They're cleaner. Yeah, so Stefan has said, please put more worthless graded games in front of you. You are so close to the reserved investments aesthetic. So we're working on that right now. Give me 1 second. We're working on it. Bring them all over, Jay.
I'm getting them. I'm getting them. How many more do you want?
I mean, how many do we have? There's a lot. There's Jungle Hunt. Johnny likes Jungle Hunt. Grab that one.
I do like Jungle Hunt. I also like Haunted House and Pitfall 2. Those are Haunted House and Pitfall 2 are my favorite Atari games.
They are 2 of my favorite Atari games as well, along with Jungle Hunt.
Yeah, I also enjoy Congo Bongo.
I also enjoy Congo Bongo. It's funny because I remember listening to your show and you talked about Pitfall 2 and I'm like, me too. I was just like, yes, exactly. Let's see. How do you feel about Pete Rose baseball? Because I got one of those over here too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Is he in the Hall of Fame yet, or are we still?
He never will be, my friend.
No.
Supposedly keeping Peters out.
No, he's not in. He won't get in until he dies.
I mean, I don't mean to like shit on the Baseball Hall of Fame, though it totally deserves it. They're like, oh, we can't let cheaters in. There's integrity in this sport and game. I'm like, but all those racists and wife beaters are totally fine. That's cool. Like
Ty
integrity.
Cobb. Yeah, Ty Cobb, not a good guy.
That's a whole different level.
But I don't actually care that those guys are in the Hall of Fame because that's of the era and of like it was what baseball was. And it's like, okay, you guys kept Pete Rose out on your fake moral outrage. Get out of here.
Well, this is the Pete Rose baseball podcast now, I think, then.
I mean, I don't even like baseball, but I'm still incensed. Fun fact, when I was until I was about 10 years old, I really liked baseball because I collected baseball cards. Why did I collect baseball cards? Because I liked the stats on back. And that's how I knew I was going to be a nerd for my whole life.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I grew up, was reading, baseball cards and the statistics and record books and learning facts. And yeah, pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. I think we've got enough of them out now. Let's see. Oh, yeah, definitely. Wow. I just looked at our shot. Holy cow, does that look bad? So yeah, if you want to see a bunch of shitty graded games, they're on, prominently on display on the live stream. So anyway, that's pretty much what I picked up, right?
A couple of Arkanoids games.
Well, I wouldn't say Breath of the Wild is shitty. I've never played it on the Wii U, but I had an affinity for it on the Switch.
I'm trying to think of another word I can add Wii into.
I know it's good. It's not on it's the Wii U.
It's ridiculous.
Stop using that one. You've used it.
What if I just say Wii?
That's better.
Okay.
Anyway.
Wii.
All right. So now that we've got the proper aesthetic down, right? We finally got it nailed down. This will be the show from now on. I'm going to be behind a wall of shitty graded games. I'm going to be buried in a tomb of acrylic, apparently. Why don't we move on to the actual show topic? What do you say?
Oh, me?
Anybody? Johnny, you still there?
Sure, I'm good.
I'm still here, but you said Jay, so I was just like letting him talk.
Oh, well then I meant.
I have my own podcast where I can talk over people.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, Johnny, why don't you tell us what we're here to talk about?
Okay, well, guys, we are here to talk about Dance Dance Revolution, Tyler's favorite game, and many of its. No, we're here to talk about Super Castlevania 4, a title that doesn't make any sense because, like, it should have been Super Castlevania or Castlevania 4, but not both. I understand. Like, I would have went with Super Castlevania, especially since it then got like retconned out of canon and is now not actually a sequel in the mainline series. If you want some complex lore, you can do one of two things. You can go look at a Zelda timeline, or you can go look at Castlevania timeline, and like what's canon and what isn't.
You make such a great point, because I'm going to tell you, and I don't want to get too far down this rabbit hole, but I don't really know how this, like, I don't know how you get to this being 4 at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, the best part is in the American version, in the very last line of the scrolling text, they went, and Simon had to pick up the whip again. So, like, to make it seem like a sequel to Simon's Quest. Like,
You know what would have made that better is if it would have had a short video on that. It's like, God damn it, Beth, go get my whip.
Get my whip. It's poop again. Anyway, Stefan said, is Tyler even here? Way to support the only person that likes you. Jeez. Wow.
Tyler's normally on our YouTube channel.
That's rough.
Nobody else is on.
But Stefan is so into himself. I just told a story about you being in an elite club, getting to talk to WADA people before WADA was here. How much representation do you want?
Yeah. Gosh, I feel like we might be ending a different podcast today, not ours. I don't know. Anyway,
see, we broke.
No hostility, really.
No. I know. All right, Jay, why don't you tell us about the release of Super Castlevania 4?
Probably get my notes here, huh?
Yeah. Unless you know it, which I don't think you do.
You don't know me.
Do you know it?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I guess you do know me. So, it originally came out in Japan. I'm going to butcher this.
You got it.
Akamojo Dracula.
Akumajo.
Akumajo. I always screw these up. Dracula.
Well, we'll get into that later.
Link TR double E
something
X,
joystick.
Yeah. Okay. So it came out in Japan October 31st, 1991.
What an appropriate day for it to come out.
That's probably the best day any Castlevania game was ever released. Was October. Were any others released on Halloween?
I don't know.
No.
It took them
but
4.
the Castlevania was released on the 90th anniversary of Bram Stoker's birthday.
Wow, I didn't know that.
This is why we have him on.
We need him on more. Johnny, you need to be on more often.
Guys, don't invite me. Chances your podcast die go up. And like, I already don't know how to just keep my mouth shut. So just like, all of your other guests are so respectful and quiet. I'm just like, I'll take this shit over. Just get me out of
No,
here.
that's...
Just get it done and don't invite me back. And you can say you did it, and then we can look each other in the eyes again.
So what about the North American version of the game? When did it come out?
December 4th, 1991.
So just a few weeks later.
Yeah. Actually, just over a month later.
And then what about in Europe?
November 23rd, 1992.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What is the deal there? Why is it always so far behind?
I don't know.
Anyway.
That's a year. That's almost a year.
It is.
It's actually over
more
a year
than
from Japan.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So anything else?
It was featured on the cover of Nintendo Power issue number 32.
Prominently displayed here on the
January of 1992.
In horribly red 5.0 condition.
What's on the cover of that?
Super Castlevania 4.
Is there like anything?
Well, there's Belmont with his whip. Simon's on there.
Hey, fun fact. You want to know where you can see the original art of this?
No, I don't.
I might know.
I don't give a shit about that.
Art of NP.
Yes.
And he can show you that he has the original art for this, and he has it hanging in his home, and it's wonderful. And it's gigantic.
But it's not the thing that Johnny's the most envious of that he has.
What would that be? I actually don't know.
I feel like I know what that would be.
I don't know. That's pretty
It's
tough.
pretty close.
It's like that and the Castle, the Final Fantasy prototype.
Yeah.
Those are.
What about the Dragon Warrior map?
The Dragon Warrior map is like is third.
Okay, all right.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, good to know. Now that we have the real ranking, we can end the show. What does Stefan have that Johnny wants the most? Top 3, go. And now we know. Just roll the credits.
What does Johnny have that Stefan wants the most?
To be able to be on the air with us.
I'm
Probably
going to go ahead and guess he probably doesn't
probably
have
not
that too high. On his
Probably
list.
not that. Anyway,
Just saying.
so why don't we do a little bit about the gameplay and story of this game?
Do tell, Mr. Pitts.
So let's see here as I sift through my notes. The game takes place in 1691.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, 7 years before. Got any guesses what it's before?
7 years?
7 years before what?
I'm going to go with Dracula's Curse.
Wrong.
Oh, I don't know then. Does Johnny know?
I bet Johnny knows.
Yep. Yeah, it's.
He's like,
before
fuck
the
yeah,
first
I know.
Castle- It's before the first Castlevania, but that's only actually in the Japanese version. In the Super Famicom version, it's 1691. But Simon's Quest technically takes place 7 years later in 1698. So we have this conundrum here because this is supposed to be a sequel to Simon's Quest in America, especially given the text in the opening crawl that they give and in the manual. So this would have to be a couple years later after that. So
I'm
it's
glad.
a question when it's really takes place.
It's hard to say. You know, the records are spotty from back then at best.
But Famicom, 16. You got it. 1690.
1691. So, gameplay and story. You mentioned the crawl. Jay, do you want to read this crawl? Johnny, do you want to read it, or should I read it?
Whatever you want to do. You want to take a crack at it? Which one are you going to read? You going to read the Japanese one?
I'm going to read the one that crawls on the when you turn on Castlevania Super Castlevania 4 for the North American release. That crawl.
Okay.
It's
that starts with evil lurks in the darkness.
Yeah. Does it? I'm
pretty sure.
It's I thought it started with this. But it's fine, whatever.
Oh no, that's the manual. The manual starts with evil lurks in the darkness.
So what actually comes up in the game? Yeah, Jay looks over my shoulder as it's playing right there.
I'm just
probably
going
right
to watch and I'll read it on
I'll read it. I'll read it. You ready? All right, let me get it. I got to get my voice thing going. All right, let me get my voice thing going here. Don't look at me like that.
I'm not even looking.
Every 100 years, the forces of good mysteriously start to weaken. Thus, the power of Dracula starts to revive itself. His power grows stronger and stronger every 100 years. Dracula has revived many times. However, his sinister actions have been consistently thwarted by the Belmont family. It has been 100 years since the last confrontation between Dracula and the Belmont family. But now the serenity of Transylvania is being threatened by destructive forces. On a dark and eerie night, Dracula rose from his grave to unleash his destructive power over the countryside. Once again, Simon Belmont is called upon to destroy Dracula. With only his whip and his courage, he sets out to restore peace to Transylvania. Every 100 years. They mentioned it a lot at the beginning. It's 100 years. This dude shows up every 100 years.
You know what's impressive about that? Oh, go ahead, Johnny.
Sorry. It's extra confusing because you're like, there's all these other Castlevania games I just played.
Right.
Where it's 100 years before that. And you're like, but it's Simon Belmont. You're like, so was the first Castlevania 100 years? How old is Simon Belmont? Again, more confusion by them like adding this stupid stuff. And the manual at the end of it, it says, it is time once again for Simon Belmont to call forth the powers of good to aid him in his battle armed with his mythical whip. You're like, cool, great. Again? What?
That's exactly what I got. I was like, so you're saying he's got to fight him again because they fought earlier, but this is the same game as before? What's happening? I don't really understand.
How does Simon's Quest occur? Like, he gets the whole point of Simon's Quest is he is nearly fatally wounded by Dracula.
Yep.
Right? And he's got a cursed wound that's keeping him, and like he doesn't heal, so he's dying, and that's why he needs to go out and find Dracula's body parts and burn them.
Yep.
So that's Simon's Quest. That's the game. And then depending on how you do in that game, you either die, depending on which ending you get. Like it's like, oh, you did it, but
not
also
good enough.
You perish
Yeah.
to your wounds. The other one's like you perish a little later, but good job. And then the best ending, if you beat it within 1 to 7 days, is like, hey, you did it and you survived. So you have to assume that you got the good ending, and then it came back, but it says 100 years. So he's roughly 108.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in the 100. I'm gonna put him in the 100 and teens, potentially 108 to 100 teens. So
Oh no, yeah,
fueled by his hatred
he
of
did it
Dracula.
when he was first born. Let's say he did it at 16, so plus 7, we're gonna get him up to 24. He's got to be at least 124.
yeah, people lived longer back then.
Yeah.
In the 1600s? I believe they made it to the ripe old age of 22.
No, not if you read the Bible. Don't
Yeah,
you know about Methuselah, the world's oldest man, who was like 900?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on. Just get with your weird biblical fiction.
Maybe Methuselah's first name was Simon.
Simon Methuselah Belmont.
Yep.
Matteo says Joe Louis was 137 years old when he fought Rocky Marciano. Anyway, all right. So this game, side-scrolling platformer, classic Castlevania gameplay. We'll get into a little bit about how the differences between this and maybe some of the NES games in a minute. There are 11 levels, right? You have bosses in each level, but not at the end of each level. Sometimes you'll fight like, what is it, Medusa? And then they'll just like, all right, you just walk off. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm almost dead. I did it. And then it's like, yeah, but the level's not over. You're like, wait a minute, what? I thought this was it. Like this is how it ends, right? So I think that's interesting. And then you get 5 lives, unlimited continues. It uses that same, we talked about Dracula X on a couple shows ago. And it uses the same kind of password system. It's that grid of 9,
With the whip and the holy water.
The gravestone. Hey, easy with the holy water talk.
What?
Slow down on that. We're in North America here, buddy. You can't be holy water.
What is it?
Well, it's funny you should ask that, because from the gameplay, there's the usual suspects of your whip and whip upgrades and then the sub weapons, right? So with the sub weapons, you get the axe, the boomerang. And this is all from the North American manual. The axe, the boomerang, the dagger, the firebomb, the water, the watch,
Yeah.
and then the double and triple shot. But you can't say holy water, apparently, in North America in the manual. It is firebomb.
Oh, yeah, that was that whole, I forgot. Can we talk about that?
Well, it's rampant throughout this whole game, so sure.
Yeah. I just forgot because we were looking when we were doing the research on this, that the big differences between the Japanese version and the American version.
Well, that's listed in here later, so we'll get to
talk about that later. Then I'll stop.
But I'm just saying that a lot of that religious imagery was stuff that was stripped out of games. Very
so
commonly.
Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be talking about that soon.
We'll talk about some of the differences in the game as well. Yes, that's in here. But I have a pop quiz for both of you, and Johnny, you might know this because apparently you read the manuals.
Joe Louis, he was 137 years old.
That is not the answer to the question I was going to ask.
I was just excited that Matty O threw out a Coming to America quote.
Yes. So, my question is, what are the whip upgrades officially called in this game?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't know they were named.
They have a name. That little thing that you get that extends, that gives you the chain whip and then the extension, there's a name for it.
Long chain whip. Or flail. Or is it flail?
No.
I'm going to guess it's the bullshit that's in the candle.
You guys are both going to be mad when I tell you what it is.
It's not the bullshit that was in the candle.
Whip 2 and 3.
No. That would have been more upsetting. Morning Star.
That's I was trying to think what it was called.
When you
the
said
chain whip,
yeah, you were saying flail, and you were so close. I was letting you try to say it. I knew you were thinking it. Yes, it's a Morning Star. So close. Whipalicious. It is not Cool Whip. It is not Cool Whip. It is not Whipalicious. Although those are both great names.
What if it was Whip It? Whip It Good.
Doom, 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 doom. It is not that at all. So, anyway, some of the new mechanics. Yeah. I wish you did too.
Totally random.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead. Carry on.
Some of the new gameplay mechanics of this are directional whip attacks. So you're no longer just having to whip on a straight horizontal plane, right? That's the only way you could pretty much do it in the first 3 games, right? I don't think you could whip in any direction in any of the NES games.
It was groundbreaking. It was like the best thing they could have ever done. Thank God they never took it away.
And
go ahead.
Anyway, if you've listened to prior podcasts,
still bitter about that, huh?
Jay's not at all. What do you mean?
No, not at all.
And you have limp whip, which sounds like you'd have to get some sort of pill for, but that's what they call it. Your limp goes whip, or your whip. Let me say that over.
You get that out?
Your whip goes limp. Okay. And you can just kind of swing it around in a circle. I'm not sure I can say this without it being misconstrued.
Exactly what it is.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But anyway, so I thought that was always a cool looking mechanic. You know, you can kind of like it's good for like using it almost as a shield. We did that with that stupid frog on the one level. And then you can jump on stairs and you can land on them. What a novel concept that maybe you would jump off of a thing and then you would land on the stairs instead of just plummeting to your death over and over again. What a novel concept.
That's a good idea.
Another thing that maybe you should not have taken out of a game that was in there already. Why would you do that in another game? Anyway, I digress. So, Jay, tell me about the background development of this game.
Damn it. You always make me do this.
It's because I want to hear you butcher Japanese names.
Oh, God. So it was developed and published by Konami, which ironically you're wearing a Konami shirt today.
That was on purpose.
Oh, I figured it probably was.
I did it on purpose.
So the director of the game was Mashiro.
Masahiro?
Wow, I wasn't even close. Go ahead.
Ueno.
Go ahead.
Masahiro Ueno.
And then he was credited as Juan Ferrano.
Jun Ferrano.
No, I prefer Juan.
Juan would have been better. This was still at the time when Konami was publishing games and they would not put the names of the actual people in the game. They would use pseudonyms or whatever it may be. So
he also went under the pseudonym of also the main programmer of the game.
Yes, he was also AKA the main programmer of the game, Masahiro Ueno. And
no, it's Juan.
Oh yeah, Juan Ferrano.
Right.
My fault. After you, Way.
Thanks. I don't even know.
Yeah, you got nothing.
Mike's too hard.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep going. So
good call.
He leveraged Mode 7 for backgrounds, level design, and the level bosses.
So let's talk a little bit about the Mode 7 use in this game. I think anybody listening to this probably knows what Mode 7, like you would know it if you saw it, right? Johnny, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like you know what it is when you see it. Do you
Super
know?
Nintendo is my favorite console, so yeah, I got.
Well, there we go.
Well, then you go ahead after you.
No, please continue.
Modes.
I know what.
Yeah, I know you know. But I'm saying
I know what it is, but I want you to tell me.
No, I said I know. Damn it!
I'm sorry, Dad. Anyway, I had a flashback there for a minute. Anyway, Mode 7 is a graphical mode that's built into the Super Nintendo that allows more of like it's rotating the background itself as opposed to what you like as a sprite. You imagine like you're taking like a bitmap or like an image and you're rotating it, right? Whether it's, like think of F-Zero when you're driving. It actually your car is not moving. The racetrack itself is rotating left and right. That's what the Mode 7 is. It's taking that image, whether it's a background image or a boss or whatever it may be, and it leverages, like thinking that rotating room, right? Yeah. Or whatever it is. That's what it is. So, it leveraged Mode 7 pretty extensively, especially at the time when this was not long after the game had been, the console had been released in the US. This game came out. So this was like, I don't know about, we'll get into personal experiences later, but that was a big deal. I was like, wow, what is going on here? So, anyway, so Jay, why don't you tell me about the regional differences of the Super Famicom versus the Super Nintendo?
I'll definitely do that since I already started trying to do it.
Yeah, I know what you're up to.
So the regional differences between the Super Famicom and the Super Nintendo was, of course, on the title screen, they had dripping blood, which was removed.
Yep.
What were you going to say? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So actually that goes back to the religious piece. So the Famicom, so even on the main, I'm pointing at the screen behind us, even on the main screen, there was before the
main screen, the title screen,
the title screen. Good God. On the title screen, before the lightning strikes the gravestone in the Famicom, it actually had a cross on the top of it.
And there's another difference though.
What?
So on that tombstone, the US version, you cannot read the name on the tombstone, but the Japanese, on the Japanese version, it says something. Do you know what it says?
Dracula. It says Juan Ferrano.
It's supposed to say Dracula. Johnny, do you know what it says?
Dracula.
Yes. I looked and I was like, good.
Of broken English and spelling. So it's just,
But anyway, so yes, it says Dracula on the tombstone, and then they remove crosses from things like the password screen and the graveyard, and then what else? Sorry.
So there was I can't remember what level it is. We don't have it. I don't think it's listed on here. Look at the next page. So I think we might have missed that. We did.
Statues.
The statues are on here, but we also had.
Tell them about the statues before you jump ahead. Then.
Well, the statues they weren't as covered.
Right, they were nude in the main hall, like the main screen, the main hall.
Yes, the main screen, the main hall.
That's what it was. It was called the main hall.
Yes.
But they had statues in the background.
They were almost like Michelangelo
style
type. Yeah.
And they had covered up.
But yeah.
The Milo style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, but they were heavily covered up or wrapped more with like a cloth or whatever in the statue. On the U.S. version, the American version was not. It was more liberal. Or the Japanese version, I'm sorry.
The particular bits were more available in Japan.
Yes. So the only other thing is they had on the U.S. version, it had, I think it was level 7. There was slime on it, green slime. And on the U.S. version, it was slime. On the Japanese version, it was blood.
That's correct.
So, and there was one other level that had that too.
Yeah, they changed it in a couple of places. They stripped out crosses in the background.
Yes.
There were coffins that had crosses on them. They pulled out.
They took those off.
Yeah. Number of places where the blood would show up, they changed it to, I guess, green slime, like it was Nickelodeon or something.
Yes.
Like, because kids are stupid.
They are.
Like when we played Mortal Kombat and the guy on the Super Nintendo was sweating so much because he got hit. Oh, his head chopped off. Look at all that sweat pouring out of his neck.
Let's sweat.
Anyway, Johnny, do you have the notes in front of you? I'm going to guess no.
I do.
You do?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Really?
I should have known better.
Like he's going to be like, no, I'm not prepared at all.
Yeah, I know. Anyway.
He's probably more
I
prepared
don't want
than we
to.
were.
Nobody
He's
wants
probably
to.
updated our
now that
notes. It's like, these notes are
I just want
trash.
to point out, like all the facts I'm throwing out are from my own. That's not in the notes. I'm like throwing out my little stuff by memory.
That is true.
It is true. But I have to write it down because I'm an idiot. And I also deal with Jay a lot.
I usually write things down too, but I just wanted to show my Castlevania cred tonight because I know people think that I just buy stuff and put it on shelves.
We do think that.
I don't.
Anyway, no, we don't. So why don't you go over the music and sound if you want to enlighten us a little bit, Johnny?
Oh, we want to talk about some composers? Sure. I'm going to mess up all these names, so apologies.
I do it too.
Masanori Adachi, Taro Kudo, and he left Square and was a designer on Super Mario RPG, so that's a step down. Both were members of the Konami
Kukaya
Club.
Yeah. Do you know anything about this?
I have no idea what that is.
So I learned about this today. There's two things at Konami, and they're very similarly named. There's the Konami Kukaya Club, which is actually their in-house sound team. So if you look at the list of members of this thing, it's a mile long. But these are the people who are responsible for soundtracks for things like Gradius, Parodius, Snatcher, Suikoden, all that stuff. But there's also, instead of the Konami Kukaya Club, which is the in-house sound team, there is the Kukaya Club, which is the band. There's a band that Konami has called the Kukaya Club.
Are they on tour?
I think you might be able to see them. They put out albums. You can find albums and stuff. But it's why would you name them so similarly?
I bet they have some bangers.
It's Stefan says not to be confused with the Konami Bukaki Club. Oh. No, you don't. Not the same. Not as far as I've ever seen, anyway.
Do they have any good songs?
No.
Oh.
What are you trying to do?
Nothing. I don't know.
Anyway, yes, we're leading to some stuff here. So Jay was trying to put one on the tee so I could blast it out of the park. Another baseball reference for all of you baseball fans out there.
Oh, I thought it was a Bukaki reference.
But
no.
Okay, it was. So
we will go to a major league reference and go just a bit outside.
He tried the corner and missed. So I'm going to play a couple of songs, just a piece of a couple of the songs from this game, because Johnny, before I do that, what are your thoughts on the music in this game?
I think it's overall pretty good, but not great. It's not Castlevania's best music, though. I know a lot of people might be offended by that. Pretty good, but not its best. Better than Rondo of Blood, except for maybe Bloody Tears.
Okay. Jay, what did you think?
That was good.
That was good.
Yeah, that was
I'm
good.
gonna play these 2 tracks.
It's got some weird. Yeah,
That's what I'm getting at right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play two tracks. Okay, first one's gonna be from the waterfalls, level 3-2, and the second one is right after it in the submerged city. So here we go. Let me turn the volume up because it was all the way down.
Probably be a good thing.
All right. Johnny, when you hear that music like that, what does it sound like to you?
Well, it sounds broken because we're on an internet video call. So.
I want you to go to YouTube and pull up the Waterfalls Super Castlevania 4 original soundtrack. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you will.
No, I know. I don't know exactly that off the top of my head, but I can go listen to it if you want. I could hear bits and pieces of it.
It's okay. That song to me, it's my favorite piece of music in the game, and I think I love it so much because it sounds like it should be in Super Metroid. It just sounds like it's that weird, I hate using this word, but I can never think of a better one, ethereal type music where it's like very ambient. It's setting a very specific tone. There's not a lot. It's minimalistic kind of. I just really like that one. That one is followed up by the Submerged City, which I'm about to play here. And if you can't hear it, go listen to it on your own, by all means. But I'm going to pull it up here and let me know if you can hear it. Let's see here.
Got that 808 going in that one.
That is such a weird song to have in a Castlevania game to me.
It goes from a Super Metroid sounding song to a fucking Willy Wonka sounding song.
It sounds like Miles Davis's Bitches Brew. It just sounds like fusion jazz to me. I'm like, and it's not that it doesn't work, but I'm just like, what is happening? I don't know. Did you listen to the song?
Yeah,
Okay.
I heard it. That one I could actually hear, and I went back and I listened to some of the Waterfall music. Yeah, Waterfall much better than that one, and that's kind of what I mean. Like if you listen to the opening song as well, it's just not like as classical. Like
No.
just a little more. It's got like I don't want to say techno flair, but it's definitely playing more with the Super Nintendo sound chip in that electronic space. And then by the time you get up to like PlayStation Symphony of the Night, they just go back to like everything's broody and gothic, and
Yes.
that's where we're gonna keep.
It's funny because I went back and like I was watching a playthrough of I watched somebody do a speed run of Castlevania, like the first one, and I just was like, man, it's so hard to beat that music in the first one because
It's iconic.
you don't think about how iconic it really is, and then you listen to this and you're like, here's jazz fusion, right, or whatever, and you're like, that's not what I think of when I think of Castlevania music, but that's fine. Anyway,
Sounds like Bitches Brew Cocky.
yeah.
Shout out to Tiger Wolf Games.
Tiger Wolf Game says bitches brew cocky. Okay, we're on a downward slippery slope here. It feels like.
I'll bring us back to some Castlevania stuff. Hey, so one of the differences, and I'm going backwards a little bit, but I forgot to mention.
Go.
Right up the title screen. So when you come upon the title screen, the part that says Super Castlevania, in Japanese it's written and like the castle is part of the motif, and in the US version it's kind of shaped like a castle but not super present, and I think the Japanese one was way better looking.
I agree. The logo I think is fantastic. I like how it's very cohesive, right? And Jay has this he has an opinion on the box art between these two.
I agree with the actual titling on it, but the box art, I still stick to the few. This is one of the few I think the US version is better. Just because Dracula's got like fetal alcohol syndrome eyes, like they're popping out of his head.
Yeah,
like
no,
he's
the
got
US
something going on the Japanese one.
is better for
Yes.
sure. The only thing I don't like about the US cover, they were like, "Hey, here's every monster in the game. Let's try and throw it on there." Like, why is the skeleton and the Medusa head so prominently featured, but Dracula is just like a small dude in the background?
Yeah.
He's just chilling in the background. What up, dudes?
He's just like in their backyard, like, "Hey, I'm Dracula. Got some bats." What is this?
Good luck getting through all that. If you do, I'm the guy you got to deal with. But deal with them first. That's why they're so huge.
But they're all drawn like pretty cool. Like they look good. It's just their arrangement leaves a lot to be desired. And what was the guy's name? Was it like Tom Dubois who did these? Or I want to say the Konami artist.
I don't know that.
I think I'm pretty
so,
sure
it was like an
was
in-house US Konami artist, and he did a bunch of their box art. And he's great. I just again, Super Nintendo is just like kind of a limited space. And Art of Nintendo Power confirms I was right. Hey, Stefan, are you proud of me? I did it. I knew some art, but yeah, it's
I knew some art.
Yeah, I mean, it's all very nice. Like it's just like I said, the arrangement is just not as well as it could be. I imagine if there was like a bigger canvas and this could be laid out, you would get some good stuff. But it looks like they were just like draw everything, and they literally like they put so much on this box. It's just too much.
Just make sure they know everything that's in it, because we want everybody that would potentially buy it to buy it. They have to know that it's all there.
Valdor had a pretty substantial argument though to the artwork though, Johnny. He said skeletons and Medusas have probably killed more players in the game than Dracula.
That's those players need to get good.
Well, it's probably a fair
Medusas
assumption though.
aren't very bad in this game. Super Castlevania, the Medusas aren't really a problem, especially since you can fling your whip in multiple directions.
Yeah.
Bats are the bigger problem, because for some reason bats take like 4 of your health away, and a Medusa, it only takes like 1. Most hits only take like 1, but these stupid bats just ruin you.
I will completely agree, and they always tend to come on some angle that you can't negotiate, right? Whereas Medusa, it's like you kind of know, and you're like, okay, if it comes in the screen at this point, I know where to stand and where it's going to land and all that. I will say in this game, from the beginning, and I think this is what I like, right? You have to get the whip upgrades, the Morning Stars, which again, so conveniently are hidden in those candles. Like I said, what are the odds that you whip a candle and like, oh, this fits my whip perfectly? What do you know? But I feel like you're powerful, like your reach, your area of attack is so big. If you're just standing there, because you can whip in basically 8 directions, you can get to things well before maybe you should. I think I just feel more capable and powerful in this game.
That's such a great thing that they put into that game, that you could whip in 8 directions. And I'm so thankful that they didn't take that away.
No, what do you mean take it away? Why would they have taken it away?
I don't know, from any future Castlevania games.
I see.
Because why would they have put something in that was so groundbreaking and amazing and then go, and we're taking that out?
Different dev teams.
Yeah.
I just think they're dickheads. But go ahead.
I think the word that you're looking for here is anyway. Yeah. Jay's not a fan of the stripping out of features. No. And I can't blame him sometimes.
I mean, it is like a little bit of a step backwards, but I will say, while you can whip in multiple directions, you don't really need to as much as you do. Especially if you grab the boomerang, like you're just kind of set.
Yeah, it's true.
I would agree. But it does make your life easier if you plan ahead a little bit and go, oh, I can reach that. Why don't I kill that guy before I get up there? Sometimes they respawn and it was all in vain. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of whip jokes going on in the chat here. Jay's laughing about. So
yeah, Tiger Game says he keeps whipping candles at his house, but nothing ever comes out of them. It's just not fair.
It's just not fair, he says.
They whipped it out of there so fast.
All right. So this soundtrack for this game was released on vinyl by Mondo in 2017. Mondo does a lot of like high quality represses and stuff like this, maybe that has never been put out, but it's always a very nice product, and they're always very desired. So Mondo's stuff is.
They did soundtracks. I think they did 5 records, I want to say. And some of them, Super Castlevania, I want to say, is a double.
Yes, it is.
And like first Castlevania and second are singles. My only problem there is the inconsistency of the record sizes, because if you have them all like I do, it's just, they don't sit well. If you want to see pictures of Castlevania games, you can go check out my Instagram from last year. I did a whole Octovania, so I did a I did like 45 Castlevania posts, and exactly like 6 people cared about that. But if you want to see pictures of Castlevania games, you can go look.
I cared.
Yeah, some people cared, but not a lot. Like you'd be surprised. I lose so many followers during Halloween, and that's great because if you don't like me at my Halloweeniest, you don't deserve me at my everydayest.
That's very true. It's very true. So what you're saying, I think, is that they're different sizes. Like there's a 10-inch record, right? Like aren't some of them 10? Like I think maybe is it Symphony of the Night that's 10? There, a couple of them are 10-inch records and some of them are 12. And I'm not sure how big of a record guy you are, but I'm going to say in the community of record collecting, nobody likes 10-inch records. Nobody. I don't understand why they exist.
I think Thundercat's the only one that gets a good idea.
At all.
What's that?
I'm not a record guy at all.
Okay.
I just have these because I like Castlevania.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, 10-inch records, people hate them. If you've ever heard of Thundercat, who did a lot of the bass and stuff for Kendrick Lamar, he did a really nice one for Drunk. It was a 10-inch box set, but that's really the only one I've ever thought that I get out, that I play on any regular basis. So, all right, that's enough about music and sound. Why don't we move on to the reception of this game? So this is kind of like of the time, but also, you know, of our time now, but of the time then too. So this game, you know, we've got a number of lists in front of us here of kind of where it landed all time, but also I was able to dig up a review of this game from SWAT Pro, which was a Game Pro magazine. And I'm sure, Johnny, you know the answer to this. I will ask Jay directly. What does SWAT stand for?
I don't know.
Do you know, Johnny? You have to know, right? Oh,
He hung up.
I don't
I
blame.
mean, SWAT, survival weapons and tactics.
So close. Secret weapons and tactics. So
I'm like, because that's what I think SWAT normally means.
yeah, exactly. But they put out, GamePro had their standard magazine, and they had SWAT, which was kind of like this. It was like the tips and tricks part of the magazine, and then they wound up putting out an entire magazine called SWAT Pro, which was tips and tricks, but also they did reviews. So I don't know if they're just trying to put out a bunch of magazines for kids to buy or whatever it was, but ultimately this game was reviewed. It was, I believe it was on the cover of the March 92 issue of SWAT Pro, and they gave it a 5 out of 5 and said that it was, quote, the year's best action adventure game on any system has arrived, unquote. So yeah, I would say that's pretty, you know, in 92, there's a lot of stuff going on then. So why don't we talk a little bit about where this landed on some of the other lists that we have in front of us. So who wants to do this? Johnny, you want to talk about it? Jay, you want to talk about it? What do you want to do?
I can go.
Whatever you guys want.
I got it.
Jay's got it.
So on Polygon's top 500 games of all time, where do you think that fell?
I know because I wrote the notes.
Oh, okay. Well, 440.
Yep. So
Embarrassingly low.
I have to
Really
agree,
is.
especially considering what else is in this list that we have here comparatively.
But 5 Castlevania games did make the top 500.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I will. Looking at this, I will never trust Polygon ever again. When is this list from?
I think it was 2018, maybe 2016, something like that.
Those guys can go suck a dick.
So, yeah, as Jay said, there were 5 Castlevania games that made the top 500. The original Castlevania was 247. Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, was 249. Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, 158. And then Symphony of the Night was 18. Did I hear a fart noise in there?
did.
And then, yes, they put Super Castlevania 4 at 440. I think it is criminally underrated here.
Yeah.
I agree.
Just you show me 440 games better than Castlevania, Super Castlevania.
Well, if you go to Polygon's top 500 of all time, you can see them.
I just know I will disagree. I will find 10 games in the first 2 seconds. I'm sure it's gonna be sad. You know, I don't know. Like if you told me I didn't love the first Castlevania because it was too hard and like it was old, like kind of the era. Yeah, I get that, but like Super Castlevania fixes most of that for people and delivers the same kind of game. So getting to this that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Also, Symphony of the Night being number 18. Come on, move that up the list.
Yeah, I'm
top 10.
You're preaching to the choir. Apparently, I said Aria of Sorrow. I meant Aria of Sorrow.
You might have said that, but they might have misconstrued that when I went.
Yeah, you did make a big fart noise in the middle of it. But I completely agree with you, Johnny. I feel like both of those games, Symphony of the Night and this game, Super for Castlevania 4, are too low on their list. So
I might get some blowback on that, but I will say I think Aria of Sorrow should be above Super Castlevania. I think Super
the Game Boy
Castlevania is
Advance game?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really good game.
It's good.
I say it's good, but I think Super Castlevania 4 is better. My opinion. Just my opinion.
So why would you get blowback from me? I agree with you.
Somebody might say, like, hey, dickhead.
I don't know. So it's hard. If you prefer where it went after Symphony of the Night, then I could see you liking Aria of Sorrow better, or any of the 3DS games. I think it just depends what you like. What's interesting is if you go back and you look at how nice Super Castlevania actually looks, especially for being an early Super Nintendo game, and even compare like some of the sprite work to what they did on the PlayStation. Man, this game holds up. It's beautiful sprite work.
I would completely agree with you. I think I played this game pretty extensively over the past couple of weeks, as I have for the last 30 plus years of my life too. And I really do think it holds up very well. There are other games from the era where I'm like, oh, it doesn't quite hold up. I don't know how else to put it other than to use your term there. So, okay. So Nintendo Power's top 100 games of all time, issue 100, September 1997. Jay, where did this game land?
58, my friend.
Too low. And the top 200 games from Nintendo Power, issue 200, February 2006. Where did it land?
We're getting better, 66.
How is that better?
It's at 200 games.
Yeah, but it's lower. They moved it down 8.
Well, all those
200 games
jumped in front of it. So
right, exactly. That's
all
right.
all 8 good N64 games.
That's what it was. They moved Mario.
There was like 8 and then like 5 from the GameCube. No,
there you
go. Those are...
Yeah, we'll put Wind Waker in there. Why not? Screw it. Yeah, I don't think moving down 8 spots if they've added 100 helps. I think that means 8 people moved in front of you.
That's still averages though. That's good.
Well, it's not the average. It's okay. Sure, Johnny. Which would you rather be? Number 58 in the top 100 or number 66 in the top 200?
Because I'm a stats guy, I'm gonna say number 66.
Yes, you're wrong.
No,
Thank you,
just
Johnny.
like percentile wise, that's a better position.
I understand what you're saying. It didn't move down to 116 out of 200.
And thank you everybody for joining Accountant's Quarter.
Yeah. Like, hey, percentage wise, I mean, because when you get to that, you're like, am I in the top 10%, top 20, top 30? Where am I?
Okay.
In top 58, you're in the lower 50% of the games.
Whereas this year's the top 33% of the games. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You're in the top third. I still
And
think
it could be worse. You could be
Stefan's like, if I wanted to hear about numbers, I'd be on my own podcast.
Stefan says, I hate this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay. So do we.
We do too. So, all right. Game Informer's top 100 games of all time in 2001. Where did this game land, Johnny?
Oh, a stunning 147.
Wrong. Let's do it over.
Game Informer.
Top 100.
Yeah, not rated somehow. They found in 2001, they were like, yeah, man, this N64 slaps. We're going to we can't make room for Super Castlevania on this list.
Jet Force Gemini makes the list, but no, I don't know if it did. I'm just being a smartass.
Man, that Dreamcast was so good. Everyone loved it.
Typing of the Dead is definitely on that list. No. And then top 200 games of all time, Game Informer 2009. It came out at
147. That was foreshadowing before, not a mistake, people.
Well, we were going to edit it out anyway, so don't worry.
Nah.
Yeah, we'll leave it.
People need to know how bad I screw up.
They already know. So anyway.
If you like my podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
They're well acquainted.
Exactly. That's my whole point. So, all right. Are we ready to move into the game ratings?
Let's go.
All right, let's go. So, who's going first? Jay, you got the order.
I do.
We're going to do the LGN game ratings. Rating system where we steal from GamePro directly their rating system, the game from a 1.0 to a 5.0. 1.0 being the worst, 5.0 being the best, and 2.5 being dead smack in the middle. Jay, what's the order?
You're up first, sir.
And then?
No and then.
No and then.
No and then.
I need to know. I got to call these people.
Oh, then John.
So me, then John,
Me.
then Jay,
Robbie.
then Robbie,
And last but certainly not least,
our guest,
our esteemed guest, host,
Mr. Iucci.
Johnny Iucci.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So I'm giving this game a 1.0. Psych!
I was going to say, I definitely didn't get your grade right on that one.
Nope. I think everybody knows where I'm going to grade this game. I'm giving this game a 5.
Oh, okay. You gave it higher than I thought you would.
Really?
I went with 4.5. I thought you were.
You're on dope. This game gets a 5 from me. So I love this game. I have loved this. This is one of the first Super NES games I remember playing. My cousin got a Super NES when it kind of first came out, just before Christmas. He had this game. I was insanely jealous, and we played it. And I just remember being completely blown away because I loved Castlevania. And I'm like, oh my God, everything looks better. Everything sounds better. Just the sounds of that Super Nintendo sound system and all the reverby, sound. Every time I hear that stuff, I can remember being like 16 years old and playing this game, and just, it takes me back immediately. So plus it's a good game. I enjoyed it then. I enjoy it now. I really do enjoy this game. So I am giving this game a 5.0, and I will be brief in my review. So with that, we are calling John now.
He's next in line.
All right. Let's see here.
Hold on, we got to make sure we got his stuff queued up here.
Oh, well, I don't have the...
Where's Mag?
It's over here, right there. Didn't get the other one here yet. All right.
Where's that?
It's right there. It says Mag Max.
No, that's not the right.
What do you mean that's not the right?
Remember, we have a new one. There it is. Okay. I was on the wrong screen. I thought it was on the right screen. My bad.
Yeah. All right, one moment.
I thought we had a new lineup. That's why I was like, wait a minute, it's not here.
I'm going to call the KC Masterpiece himself. Let me make sure I'm connected to the Roadcaster, which I'm probably not. All right. Ready to go.
I'm ready to go for some triple action for the Atari 2600.
Hold on.
You're interrupting my podcast.
I have to call you back. We have a bunch of stuff. I've got a bunch of stuff I have to edit, and Jay talked over the ringing in the phone. I have to call you back. I'll call you right back.
I could just take the whole thing out.
Yeah, I have to do it over. I can't.
You're terrible.
I can't. I have to, but you talk. What you said can't be pulled out. All right, Jay's on mute now. Now we'll call him.
Hello, first-time caller.
Go ahead. You get.
Oh, geez. Is that a remaster? Magmash?
No, that's just the same old version. It just wasn't
nice.
ready.
I like it.
But this is John Young, Mr. Famicom Box himself. John Young.
That was the worst introduction. Poor John deserves so much better than that.
I get yelled at for touching any of this.
You're
so when
in
I
charge
don't
of the
touch
John
it,
stuff.
I get yelled at for touching it.
John's intro is yours. You
Then
own
for
it.
not touching it, I get yelled at for not touching it.
Don't touch it. Keep your hands off.
This is what happens, John.
In high
Anyway,
school, I got yelled at for touching it all the time.
I paid for a lady, not Corey and Trevor. Anyway, Mr. Young,
Hi, John. How are you, buddy?
may I introduce you to Mr. Iucci?
Hey, Johnny, how's it going?
How's it going? I'm well.
I'm pretty good.
What riveting talk this is. Excellent. Moving on.
Oh, hold on. John, I have a question for you.
Is it about the weather?
It is. Is it hot where you are?
God.
It's 75 degrees right now. A little humid.
That sounds
Kansas
nice.
City
Yeah,
is-
I actually don't care, as everybody who has ever asked
okay.
about the weather. What I wanted to get to was how hot I am and how hot it is where I am, or what my weather is.
I really just
So-
want to complain about how shitty it is where I am.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. There's a bit I've been doing the whole show, and I don't know why. It's terrible.
What I love is, hey, Johnny, got any water?
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
How about you
Hold
guys
on.
in Michigan? Water?
Yeah, it's all fine. There's the biggest natural, what is it, the biggest freshwater lake in the entire country, world, whatever is here. So yeah, we got it.
Don't let them lie to you. It's a freshwater ocean.
Okay. I've never heard of, that's not a real, wait a minute. Who is this the Casey masterpiece? What's going on here?
It is. You trying to tell me that giant salt lake in Utah is not a lake?
Well, it is a salt lake. It's not freshwater.
Oh my God. Are we talking about lakes and weather? Can we talk? When are we going to get to the fireworks factory? Oh my God. Anyway.
I'm just building up to the estuary. So who wants to talk about?
Nobody. Okay. So time to discuss ratings.
Talk about archipelagos real quick. Do you guys have archipelagos where you are? And how do you say it? Do you say archipelago?
I don't know who you're talking to.
I'm talking to all of you. Like, how do you say archipelago? Because I heard a different pronunciation.
I don't have that. What is that? We don't have that here.
We're not that fancy.
I mean, you have them in the world, which is where archipelagos are. Anyways, I heard someone call them something different and insist that it was a regional variation from your guys' side of the country.
We do not have those.
When it's when Rivers Cuomo hits that high note.
See, here in the Midwest, we don't really know what you're talking
about. Rivers Cuomo?
We talk about rivers. Anyway,
it was a guy from Minnesota. His pronunciation of archipelago was wild.
I've
like
never
archipelago, and I was just like
archipelago.
Yeah, it was really gross.
I think I know what you're talking about now. No, you just threw me for a loop. I was like, what's happening here? Archipelago, or yeah, I know. I think how you say it is how I would assume somebody would say it. I don't think I've never heard anybody say it like that. But
please just move on. Why, don't let me do this to you.
Okay, good.
I was trying to find out what's going on. I don't even know.
I'm about to wake up my linguist wife. She knows about the etymology of all these things.
That's
how you pronounce it.
Let's lose more people. So Johnny, I'm getting a little static. Are you hearing that as well, Jay? Like when you're talking, it's a little popping.
Are you popping and locking, Johnny?
No, it's I'm not peaking on my audio.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, it is crackling a little bit.
Like I'm just getting like a weird crackle right now. So I don't know what that's about, but no big deal. Anyway, we're not talking to you anyway. We're talking to John. So no. Anyway, so
all right.
John.
Yeah.
How you been, sir?
Pretty good. A little busy. Trying to get stuff done. Bought that Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah.
I pronounce it properly. That's honestly all my pickups.
That's
Except
it?
for that Drifter. Yeah, well,
we won't talk about the Drifter. Anyway.
Oh, I love talking about the Drifter.
No, we can't do that on air.
We wasted the time on the archipelagos.
Sorry, you guys got archipelago.
In the weather.
So, did you play the game that we're reviewing?
No, I did. So I do want to slightly disagree with the music. It's such an early Super Nintendo game that they didn't quite know what they were going to do with it. And to your point, Mike, that jazz fusion was so much in the mindset of all the great composers for Super Nintendo at the time. And honestly, even later on, like Chrono Trigger, like there's legitimately a CD you can buy in Japan of like jazz fusion Chrono Trigger music with like eggs and bacon on the cover. It's worth checking out. So the music was kind of perfect for me. I do understand that it was a little bit different than what you would expect for a Castlevania game, but kind of in that mindset of Metroid. It's just great, like atmosphere music. And while I was playing this game, all I could think of is, man, they should have really come out with a Ninja Gaiden for Super Nintendo, other than that trilogy that everybody loves, or at least loves to pay stupid amounts of money for. It's sorry, I'm a little off topic, but I think that there are flaws in the game. I don't think the controls are really that bad, in that it hinders somebody from playing, but I think that it's got some issues that will cause like a modern like young person to complain about it. But as a whole, I do think that everybody should play this game. The graphics are there in kind of that weird, like, we're going to mess with you kind of way. Level design's decent. I think the bats and Medusas are better than in Dracula X. And I could try to pick apart some of the flaws in the game and a couple of the slight little issues. But for me, it's a 5.0.
5.0.
I'm stricken.
That's the highest grade you could give it. Or rating. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I'm going to tell you it is, and does that change your grade?
I didn't know what scale we were using. I just like throwing numbers out there.
Anyway, so 5.0, very good, awesome.
Yeah. No, honestly, playing this brought up so much like nostalgic feels. It has that Castlevania kind of, everything you want out of a Castlevania game. It made me want to play the PlayStation games again. And to Jay's, point, the Game Boy Advance games that everybody loves, a good one.
Yeah, I actually was playing some of those. Didn't they do the Castlevania Advance collection recently, where you could play all those on Switch? I think I bought that, and I was playing Ario of Sorrow on Ario of Sorrow. I keep saying Ario of Sorrow.
Ario starts, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But
they came out with a limited run, I think.
Yeah, and then I think they released it digitally, but I've been playing some of those on there as well. So, awesome. Okay, well, very good. What else you got going on? Besides, the new house.
Yeah, moving into the new house. Presentation tomorrow morning, super early. That'll be fun.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
Oh, no. It's fine about the conversion. I don't remember what it's called. I'm new to this job. I put together a workbook. I don't know what it's called.
So John Young, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
It's a big presentation.
Very, very good. So, I guess with that, should we send you off, or what do you got?
Yeah, I got some anecdotes, but they're nowhere near Robbie's. I'm just gonna go back into the chat and just talk with my real friend.
Continue to troll us from there when we can't respond.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very good.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye, John.
Bye.
Once again, Mr. Famicom Box, because Tyler makes me say it that way. John Young.
All right. Retro game enthusiast John Young. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Knew he was still there. I was hoping we solicit a response. John likes to hang out. He faked us out one time. He pump faked us and literally played the sound that your phone would make when you hang up. We thought he was gone, and then he was there like 3 minutes later. He's like, yeah, that's right. And we're like, what happened? Where did you come from? Anyway, all right, very good. So you're next, Jay.
Yep.
All right, Jay, why don't you give us your rating for this game?
All right, I'll write it down.
What is it going to be?
I wrote it down.
You wrote it? I won't look.
Okay.
How's the weather in the new house? That's right. Tiger Wolf Games.
Robbie's up.
What?
Robbie's up. I wrote my score down.
You're supposed to tell us.
Oh, I have to tell everybody.
You can tell me. You don't have to tell everybody.
It's secret muted. I'm joking.
Okay,
no,
go ahead. No, go ahead. We're back.
Okay, hi. No, I gave it a 5.0.
Really?
This is going to be I have a feeling this is where it's going to go.
We'll see. So 5.0. Why?
This game's great. Because you can whip in 8 different directions.
And you can land on stairs.
And it was so groundbreaking of a game to do that. And I'm so happy they never took it away after they did that on any Castlevania games that preceded it.
I'm going to say you keep bringing this point up. And
yeah, because it pisses me off.
It sounds like you're being sarcastic, like you don't really mean what you're saying.
No, I don't at all.
Okay.
I think it's great that they made that. And then they just decided after that, no, this isn't a good idea. Let's put the most intuitive thing we ever could into a game, an iconic game. Get everybody's buy-in on it, where they love it, and they go, this is wonderful. And then go, yeah, we're never going to put it in a game again. I hope you really liked it.
To be fair, nobody played the game that they took it out of at the time, so it didn't really matter.
But still.
Johnny, do you have any thoughts on Dracula X for the Super Nintendo?
Yeah, I think it's great. I sure wish you could whip in more directions. though.
Agreed. Agreed.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. Jay had been mentioning something. He hasn't really brought it up recently, but he's mentioned something along those lines at one point.
The whip.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really the only person I've ever heard say that. So
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's a good point.
I feel like I'm on an island here.
Do you hear anything, Johnny?
nope.
Yeah, me either. Jay is muted. Jay has muted himself. Okay, so Jay 5.0, you got nothing else to say? It's a 5.0. It's a great game because you can whip in every direction. It's iconic. I don't disagree with any of this. I want to make sure I've got a good summary.
Yeah, no, that's about it. I really don't know where else to go here. Like,
that's
so
right.
arguably, Super Metroid is one of my favorite games, and I think this game is fairly close to that in quality.
Shockingly,
Yes,
this one I would agree with you on both of those things.
I love it.
Yep, I agree. All right, so 5.0. All
5.0.
right, so that brings us down to one more person before Mr. Iucci.
Oh, they want me to join in the chat, so you guys are on your own for the rest
Okay,
of the show.
you go join chat. Jay, join us in chat, says Zeldor. I'm going to go call Mr. Robbie. All right, remember to be quiet.
Okay.
Shh. Johnny, you can talk, though. He's muted himself. 1 second.
Hello.
And now, the one, the only, 8-bit supremacy, Robbie Coleman! I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad. That's how you do an intro,
Fuck.
Jay.
Fuck yeah, do you rev that shit up this time around?
That's how you do an intro, my friend.
That was excessive.
It was
Thanks,
excessive.
man.
It should be.
That made me feel all good inside.
Good. See, John deserves to feel that way as well. Keep that in mind when you put together your intros.
I had plans. I had big plans. Nobody bothered telling me that those big plans had been thwarted.
Shh.
Big plans.
He's got a point. We'll discuss that offline. All right.
What's
Mr.
up?
Coleman, how are you?
Tired.
Say hello to our friend Johnny.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going, John? Johnny? John.
Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny.
Johnny.
No, never John. Never John.
Never John. I don't know
Fight.
why Mike suggested John. I was going to say Johnny, but he psyched me out.
Yeah, that's his fault. He's
Yeah,
son of a
it
bitch.
is. I'm
well. How are you?
Nice to meet you, sir.
Likewise.
All right.
So, quick question for you though.
Sure.
Is it hot where you are?
I don't know if you know this about Chicago, Illinois, but it's pretty cold in general. all
Is
the
there a
time.
lot of wind there?
Yeah, because
Uh,
it's hot
yeah.
where I am. Sorry, this is a horrible bit. I'm done. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's not horrible. Why am I laughing so much every time?
Because going back to it is what makes it funny.
Oh, it is. It is. The callback is always so good. Okay.
It is hot, though. It is hot.
Very, very good.
Wow.
Loosen it
All
over
right.
here.
Anyway,
So, Robbie, what have you been up to? You buy anything? Did you play any games? What do you think of
Man.
this one?
I've been doing a lot of stuff since we last did the show. I was trying to reflect, but it's all been pretty hazy. I've been working a lot. We've been kind of busting ass at the arcade because we're supposed to be like supplying a shitload of games for Riot Fest and like a tent out there and all this stuff. So trying to get up to speed on stuff that's half working. I also was given access to the social media, the Instagram page for Logan Arcade. So that's like a weird millennial promotion. I guess it's part of my job description to kind of pepper in like photos in there and stuff.
So you're a social media manager now.
I guess I'm I'm assistant manager. There's a main chick that does all the social media. So
I think you should title yourself
the
director.
official title will be social media assistant manager. That's fucking weird.
The assistant to the regional social media manager.
The assistant to the director of the VP.
I was joking with the head mechanic there. Like, how long before they revoke my privileges? I'm just going to keep lighting up with Mortal Kombat memes.
It's all going to be Mortal Kombat. Yes. That's awesome.
Can you do me a favor and tag Matteo in every one of them?
Oh, yeah. Just everyone will be really confused. Like, why do you keep tagging this guy from Kenosha, Wisconsin?
Take a picture of that postcard we mailed you and put it on the Logan Arcade.
Oh, my God.
And just tell everybody, you should go listen to this. It's hilarious. Lie to them. Anyway.
Or tag Matteo.
I've been playing a lot of games. Not this one that we're talking about because I played that a million times in my life. But I played some PS1. Oddly enough, I don't really do that often. But I was at my lady's and I had the PlayStation 2 fatty over there and some PlayStation games. So I fired up MK Trilogy for old time's sake. And the game's weird, man. I'm not going to get into that, but there's some weird things about that compared to the
Worlds collide. And I don't like how the worlds collide.
Worlds collide in a way I don't particularly like. Anyway, I also played NHL Open Ice, which is one of my favorite Midway games.
Love that
game.
Kind
of a weird, odd duck because it kind of flew under the radar when it came out. It's just the NBA Jam, or the hockey equivalent of NBA Jam, for those who don't know. I'm a big Midway fanboy growing up in Chicago and just seeing all that shit roll out as it was coming out and how crazy it all was. But I played that, and then oddly enough, I was like texting one of my homies, the dude who sold me my play choice a few years ago, and I was like, "Hey man, when you and I were at the Galloping Ghost swap like a year ago, and the creator of NHL Open Ice was there, did you happen to grab more than one arcade marquee from him? Because he had a stack and he was selling them, and for some reason I just was lazy that day, and I was like, yeah, I don't need one of those, and now it's like killing me that I didn't pick one up." So I was like, did you ever get one of those? And he was like, no, I didn't get an extra. I'm sorry. And then like literally the next day, some chick who was like a regular Logan Arcade was like, hey, this dude who owns this other arcade in Bolingbrook like shook down a Midway employee and has all this extra shit. You should check out what he's got for sale. And he had like a framed in glass, like NHL Open Ice marquee. And I was like, I'll buy that. $40. Give me that thing. So that's one of the few things I acquired this week.
Very nice.
It's not even that cool art. It's just something it's just a game I like. The marquee's kind of boring.
What does it need to do? It says NHL Open Ice. It says Midway. What more do you want?
That's all I really want out of it.
Right.
I'm gonna hang it above my door or something and just enjoy it, looking at it. I got that. I got a shitload of EGM magazines from one of my fucking grade school friends. We still talk every now and then. And I was like, hey, you still got your old stash? And sure enough, he had a crate of all of his EGM magazines in his garage. And I drove out to Gurney and just picked them up. He just gave them to me. I tried giving him money. He's like, no, dude, if you're not reselling them, just fucking have them. I barely even knew they were here until you reminded me of them. So
that's something I'm definitely looking for. I have a good chunk of Nintendo Powers and Game Pros and other stuff, like other ephemera from the era. But the EGMs of that era are just impossible for me to find, it feels like. And I'd love to get my hands on some.
It's really hard to find them. And that's like, also he had all the ones from like the era I wanted, like 93-ish, like when MK3 was just coming out and like, I don't know, like just
2 is out, 3 is coming.
Ultra 64 was being advertised, and stuff like that. Killer Instinct, like the whole fighting game craze. That's my shit, man.
Tons of Jaguar reviews, all that stuff.
Yeah, there were a lot of Jaguar reviews. Yeah, that's another local flavor thing I'm nostalgic for because EGM was based out of Lombard, Illinois.
Yeah.
So, so I got those and like they hit the fucking fields with nostalgia. I paged through all of them. I was like, this is great. Just eating it all up.
So before we move on, our friends from the Matty Ice and Marky Mark podcast have joined us on the Facebook stream, and Mark has told me that he loved EGM and that he has a bunch if I'd like them. So I think I would. I think I would like them.
Yeah, you should take them. They're awesome. So, and that's where that's where you got the Sashimi X thing, because they used to have Sushi X doing the reviews in there.
Yep, Sushi X was...
For those who are unaware of that inside joke.
Yep, Sushi X was a reviewer that was written by one particular person, then it moved to another, and then it kind of became a group thing at the end. But it was a person that would write articles or reviews for EGM, and we just kind of came up with our own version of it called Sashimi Z. So, and he's we've got a Sashimi Z. There's a guy.
Nice.
I'm not willing to divulge who it is. It's a secret identity. I don't want they I'll say this. I'll give you anybody who's listening, the person who writes our Sashimi Z reviews definitely is plugged into purchasing games from Japan. Just like Sashimi Z was always plugged into the overseas import stuff.
And it's not John.
Who?
John.
Oh, the guy who you
Young.
butchered his intro earlier? That guy? Partially my fault. Anyway, moving on.
I also bought a manual for Sparkster on the Sega Genesis on eBay. And as most people know, collect Sega Genesis, I'm sure Johnny knows, it's impossible to find just a manual for uncommon to rare games. Like, they just don't show up anymore. So
yes.
One popped up for like $50, and I was like, give me that. Smash that buy now button.
If anybody knows about the hard times of finding Genesis manuals, I believe it is our guest, Mr. Iucci.
I know
it's brutal, man. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I just said I know a thing or two. I'm just agreeing with all of my heart.
I could feel that.
God,
through
dude,
the
like,
heat.
I've been looking for a Skeleton Crew manual for like going on 4 years now, man. It's killing me. So if you see one out there, let me know. Drop me a line.
I'll keep it up. I'll keep it. I have about 50 Genesis manuals, but they're all common garbage.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah, those are about the only things I picked up. I played, what other games I played? I played Blazing Star on the Neo Geo because we have that in the MBS at Logan. And yeah, I popped it in the MBS cabinet at Logan. I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet, but I actually sat down and played it. Phenomenal game, man. That is a great shmup.
Yeah, I love that game. That's a good one.
Really good. As per usual, played some Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, some MK2, some Third Strike, some Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, all my usual fighting games. Actually played Third Strike and some Super Puzzle Fighter online against Clevman on, I think that was yesterday. I can't remember.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, Jason Clevenger.
Yeah, him and I spent an evening playing against each other.
Kilgore.
On the Switch, on the Capcom collection or whatever, and the 30th anniversary Street Fighter collection.
Yeah, that's Kilgore_Trout is who that is. So yeah, I forgot that just jogged a memory in my mind that I actually did a little deal with Jason as well. He came by the house. He's local. He lives about a half an hour away, and his family lives in the same town I live in. He was in town. He came over, and I traded him like a Saturn and a couple of other things. I think it was actually Ninja Gaiden 3. Just loose, and I got the box and manual for Kickmaster for the NES, which is one of my favorites. And then something else I can't remember. The real highlight of the trip was when Jason wanted to play me in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and he got the donut. Yeah. He caught a donut on that one. He basically said, "Okay, you're better than me at this game." I was like, "Yeah, I mean,
dude, to his credit, I felt that way. I caught the donut on a Super Puzzle Fighter. I never heard that expression in my life, but now I love it. I caught the donut. In Puzzle Fighter too, because he's a fucking wizard at that. And I was just like, I am a very like self-competitive person. So if I get into a groove of losing, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking win one. Come on,
I've got to get one
more, and then eventually just gave up. And I was like, all right, dude, you're better than me.
According to
clearly.
Yeah, exactly. That's where he got. Where he was like, okay, enough. Can we do something else now? I'm like, you keep pressing start. I'm just standing here, like I'm trying to beat the game. I'm trying to take a picture so I can tag Matteo, and you just keep interrupting me. Anyway.
It's all right. I beat that ass in Third Strike. So
I'll bet you did. Yeah. Mr. Reichert says Clevman sucks. So,
Okay.
But that's he knows him better than I do. So, that's his opinion. I don't know. So I just good.
Let me think of what else. Oh, on Friday night I won a weird fighting game tournament thing we had at Logan. Out of 15 dudes, I took third. I didn't win. Let me take that back. I got third.
You're on the pedestal. You're on the medal stand.
I won a little gift or prize. I got a little candle with Morrigan from Darkstalkers on it.
That's really cool.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with it because I don't collect shit that's not actual video games. I don't collect like the Samurai as much.
I'll take it.
I still want it. It's a little trophy. But it was like some weird tournament where we had to like do like Rochambeau and then pick different games on the floor and play against each other. And I ended up getting my ass beat in Tekken 3, which is a game I've never played in my life.
Good segue. I was going to say, I can give you some tips on that one, buddy.
Speaking of Tekken 3.
That game is rough, dude. It's like slow as molasses, man. I don't know how people played that shit back in the day.
That's my jam, dude.
Better
Really?
watch out.
Tekken 3?
Tekken 3 was
some guy was just like,
jam.
all right, man, he's trying to coach me through it. He's
Yeah.
like, all right, just pick Eddie, the break
Eddie's
dancer with
trash.
That's
the
like saying
break dancer with the eyebrow ring, and just smash the fucking.
Eddie is literally the worst.
circle
Even if
button
that's all you do, he's still the worst character.
that's the same person that would say, just pick Liu Kang and press forward and all the buttons, and something will happen. and it will. It will. Anyway, go
I'd
ahead.
say Brian and Heihachi are my weapons of choice on that game.
Oh man, we played a lot of Tekken together. Tiger Wolf says, speaking of Tekken 3, how's the weather in Wisconsin? I imagine it's ask Matteo. Let's see what he has to say. Yeah, Tekken is such an acquired taste. It's so different because it's that weird, like, I would you call it a 3D fighter? Because you don't really. It is,
Yeah,
but
3
then-
was. 1 and 2 were not.
I know it is
okay,
because
yeah.
the reason I know it is because I hate it, and I like mostly just hate all the 3D fighters.
1 and 2 probably were not, but 3 would definitely, because that they incorporated the sidestep.
Oh,
So you
one
could
was 3D,
literally-
man. I remember
It was
one
it was a
being pretty
it was a
3D.
polygon shaped game, but it wasn't truly 3D. They didn't throw the sidestep in, I don't think, until Tekken 3. I
Yeah.
might be wrong.
Okay.
So
I know the
some
counters
of
in 2, though. Man,
Does anyone remember War Gods? That awful game.
Ugh.
I looked at a sealed copy of
that is-
War
that is
Gods. Go ahead.
Ugh, that is a blemish on Midway's record. Right there.
I'm going to tell you that I held in my hands today a raw sealed copy of War Gods for Nintendo 64, and I thought,
Damn.
I feel like I got AIDS or something just holding it.
Dude.
I was like, these are two of the worst things ever mashed up. Like War Gods and Nintendo 64. How could I lose?
Here's a weird fun fact to bring up here about that. Eugene Jarvis, famous for creating a shitload of games, and Robotron most notably,
Mhm.
he somehow has something to do with a class on like designing video games at DePaul University in Chicago.
Sure.
And I'm pretty sure from what someone told me that part of one of the curriculums, they use War Gods as an example of how to not design a video game.
Well, I believe that.
Like,
So
he's just like, this is what you don't do.
the things not to do: play or ever look at or think about War Gods.
Oh, the reason I brought it up is because there's like you're talking about sidestepping. There's like a button on there. I don't even know what it does because I barely played it enough. But it's like a 3D button, or that's what it's called. It's like a button that's labeled 3D. I don't know what the fuck it does.
That sounds awful.
You probably just step sideways or something. I don't know.
So tell me a little bit about Super Castlevania 4.
Sure. It's definitely in my top 5 Super Nintendo games ever. It's like I kind of had a similar experience as you explained with your formative years in this game. Like, I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up. A friend of mine down the street, his dad actually was one of those guys that like designed Super Nintendo kiosks and put them around the U.S. in stores. And he just happened to live in the small town that I grew up in. He got every Super Nintendo game as it's coming out, even maybe before they were actually out, because like promo ones and stuff. And he had the Super Castlevania, the Super Metroid, like all the good shit when it was coming out. I went over to his house and I played that game, and I was fucking jealous of it because it blew me away.
Yep.
Similar to you, I was just like, man, like everyone else in my neighborhood, we kind of drank the Sega Kool-Aid, the Attitude Era, and we're like, we're Sega Genesis fans, fuck all that Nintendo
Welcome to
shit.
the next level.
But I would go to his house and be like, spend like a whole Saturday afternoon playing that or Super Metroid or unfortunately Ultraman. We're not gonna talk about that. But
Cool
man,
premise.
it's just such a good dude. Super Castlevania is just so good, and I think that similar to you. I know you're talking about the music being a little weird, but like at the time, I remember the music being like such a visceral thing. I was like, this is fucking phenomenal. It's like so immersive.
I agree.
I am like, I'm so into it, and like the parallax scrolling with the tunnel stage you walk through and all this shit. It was so awesome. Giant bosses. It's just it was super. I don't know. Like it was like
You
it
could have
made me
left the
realize
4 part off.
It was one of
but
those
it was
moments where I
still
was like,
super.
oh, this is definitely like a jump in the next direction of like what games are going to be now. This is the new standard. I was like, man, this is, and I was like jealous in a way where I was like, man, I cannot wait until we get a Castlevania game for the Genesis someday, which I ended up buying on release date, Bloodlines, when that came out. But
I will say before you move on from that, there was a development company who did like a demo port of this game for Konami, and they wanted to put this game on the Genesis or Mega Drive. It was over, in Europe.
Really?
Yeah. And basically Konami said, no, thank you. We're going to handle all of the development in-house, and we're not going to put this game on the Genesis. Yeah. Yep. So there was somebody out there willing to do it, and they were like, nope, we're good. So.
I think similar to that, I want to say that, what the fuck's a PS1 called? The PS1 Castlevania. Symphony of the Night. That game was supposed to be on the Sega 32X. I want to say this. I might be pulling this out of my ass completely, but I want to say they were like talking about putting it on there, and then obviously the 32X tanked, and then they like put it on the PS1, which is like how different would it have been if it ended up on the 32X,
Substantially, I think is the best way to put it.
Someone should fact check me on that. I feel like I don't feel like I'm actually making that up. I know I must have heard it somewhere, otherwise why would I bring it up? But
I've never heard that, but I can't imagine a world where that's what happens.
Man, I want to look it up right now, even live as we talk about this. Anyway,
while you do that, why don't we give me an idea what you would rate this game on a scale of, say, 1.0 to 5.0?
I didn't even have to think about it for a millisecond when you guys brought up the show topic weeks ago. It's a 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a game that I revisit every year around, like, Halloween time. I fire it up, I play through it, and it feels just as fun as it did when I was, like, 1990, whatever, when it came out.
It's that warm sweater that still fits after 20 years, 30 years.
It is, dude. That and Super Metroid and Contra 3 Alien Wars and Super Mario World and whatever, some other game in that list. But like, I can just play through those over and over and just like never think of them. And I'm not even a Super Nintendo like fanboy or like that deep into it or even for collecting reasons, but I can, those games are just all undeniably so good.
Yep. And I would
agree.
And
as we talked about on the other episode, the follow-up Super Nintendo game was not as good.
It struggled comparatively.
But I don't care about the whip. I don't care about the whip thing like you guys all do.
I don't even care about the whip thing. It's Jay that's hung up on the whip thing, which, by the way, Jay has departed for a short period. I think he had to use the bathroom or something. So, but Jay's the one that's all hung up on the whip. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I'm not like, I don't keep bringing it up. Anyway, all right.
So Castlevania: The Bloodletting is the commonly used name among the gaming community for a canceled Castlevania game that was intended to be released on the 32X add-on for the Sega Genesis. And when questioned about the game, Koji Igarashi mentioned he worked on it before the project was abandoned and its team disbanded. He and other team members would later proceed to work on Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So it's kind of in the same wheelhouse or something. Like they kind of like took ideas from that and they abandoned that project and they just kind of were like, well, let's just pick up the pieces of that and make Symphony of the Night. That's what happened. So there you have it.
That sounds disparaging to to Symphony of the Night. I don't know, Johnny. What do you think?
I was gonna say it's another canceled one in the can. I'm never gonna attribute any successful thing to the 32X. I just don't have any.
But does it count towards the Genesis set?
Oh no. Yeah. You have to own Symphony of the Night to have the whole Genesis set.
But if you look at the population reports for WATA, they don't talk about the 32X games in the regular Genesis list. And that's we know that's the real de facto standard of how you determine what's part of a set.
No, I've never looked at a list.
Here we go.
I've never said, there's not a mistake here. They got it just right.
Like on my Dragon Warrior back here that says that the disc is a 7.0. Yeah, the disc.
I'm just saying, every time WATA releases something right now, they write the word definitive next to it. And it's like those fucking dummies don't know what the word means. It's driving me crazy. Like, why would you box yourself in and be like, it's the definitive one? Like, oh, you're never going to change it now? Like, have you looked up the word definitive?
You mean like the definitive black box guide?
It just sounds confident so people can take them more seriously.
It's
just like you could just call it WATA's conversion list and WATA's black box list. Like, put your own logo on. That's fine, but calling it the definitive thing, especially when it's full of mistakes or just like not complete information, it's like, get the fuck out of here.
I have a question. Man. Go ahead.
I was just going to talk about the 32X some more. That's all.
Let's not do that.
Oh,
so
let's hear
it. They were going to release an Alien versus Predator beat 'em up, man. It got canned. I'm still mad about it. Give him 3 minutes. He can go over every game. Come on, man. We got Doom. You ever heard of that game? Pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who has a 32X set sitting behind him, yeah, I've heard of it.
Hey, man, that's the one where the words are flipped the other way. That probably drives you nuts, doesn't it?
It does. I fucking hate it.
I hate it so much. I hate it so much. What's the NES game I always think of? Is it Uncharted Waters? Which is the one on the NES that goes up like that? And I'm like, fuck you.
Oh, the fucking Jellico games. Don't they go the other way? I don't know.
Some of them. Anyway, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, Doom's the one, man.
Yeah. Ugh. So question for you. Robbie, I know you've beaten this game a number of times. Johnny, I know you've also beaten this game. I have proof of that. Jay, I think you've seen the ending of this game recently as well. We all know that moment at the end of the game where you see the castle off in the distance and Simon Belmont is standing there as it crumbles. How fucking fast did he get out of that place, man? Like what? How did that happen?
He's 137 years old.
I don't know, man.
I'm guessing he's got some skills.
That ending sequence is just. I rarely like to use the word epic because it's gotten destroyed by overuse. But man, that ending sequence definitely falls under that category.
I would agree.
Music, the ambient music leading up, just the walking towards the final battle and everything.
I just find it so. What are the odds that he made it all the way to that like cliff where he gets to watch the whole thing crumble? Like man, it's like I don't even know how that. How do you time that out?
Cutscene, bro. They just didn't need to show. We didn't need to do a whole exit plan like Super Metroid, and you just run out of the fucking castle. You know.
Valdor says spoilers. It's a 31-year-old video game, so sorry. I'll edit this out so you don't hear it later. Anyway,
also like a pre-internet era where you like kind of had to figure out cheats and stuff on your own. Mm-hmm. Jumping on an invisible ledge or before the final battle was like a fucking mind-blowing.
Oh my god. Jay and I fought with that so long because I was like, I think you can jump over here. And then we realized later it was stairs and we kept jumping off and killing ourselves. I was like, this was never this hard when I was 16 years old. I never remember this being this difficult. And I was like, yeah, it's stairs.
Just knowing that, like, I think because I played it at that kid's house whose dad worked for Nintendo.
Right.
And like, so he just, some guy he worked with knew the game and obviously like passed down the tip to us. We're like, oh fuck yeah,
that's awesome.
Otherwise we would have never been able to beat that shit probably at that age. But.
Yeah, well you certainly had everything you needed at that point. So yeah. So all right, man. So 5.0, and I think we're going to get to Mr. Iucci's here next. So anything else before we cut you loose, Robbie?
I went and visited I visited a dying mall over the weekend and got some Sbarro, got some Cinnabon.
I'm surprised they were both still open at your mall.
That's why I bought them. I was like, hell yeah,
this is it.
I gotta get a mall meal here.
Last chance.
And then I'm not gonna keep going on if you want me to talk about shit. I went to go check out the area of the mall. I was like, well, this is where my old Aladdin's Castle was. Aladdin's Castle was a Valley arcade chain back in the day. If anybody doesn't know, I'm sure you do. I went to go check out my Aladdin's Castle location, and what was inhabiting it now was like one of those modern like esports like halls where it's just a bunch of like 20-something guys who are just like on headphones and
on Ritalin.
And like really comfy chairs playing Counter-Strike and shit. And I actually walked in there and I was just like looking around, and then like there was like a display case of like I don't know, old vintagey items in there, and there was like a Blaster Master hint book made by Scholastic, like for the NES, in one of those cases. And I was like, I tried to shake down the 20-something with blue hair who was working there to fucking sell it to me, and he wouldn't. And then I started going on a fucking Abe Simpson rant about this is where the Aladdin's Castle was, and I played Primal Rage right over there.
Gather around, an old person is talking.
And he was kind of like, he was into it, but then I didn't push my luck. I was like,
Good call.
Man, this is cool. Like, this was he's like, I was wondering what this was before we came in here. I was like, yep, cool, man. Well, have a good day.
Back in my day, you had to put a quarter in a game before you could play it. And
Yeah.
cheeseburgers were 49 cents. It sounds so old now when I say it. It really does.
I could go
I
for a
definitely felt
cheeseburger.
fucking old after talking to that young man. I was like, oh god.
Yep, it's only going to get worse. So,
I know.
all right.
That's why you have to keep the other Robbie in tow, so you can just slide him in and you can keep moving.
Yeah, the stunt double.
Yeah, stunt double.
Stunt double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
All
throw him
right,
in.
we've meandered long enough. I'm out of stories for the week. Until next time.
Until next time. Very good. All right.
All right. Have fun with the rest of your podcast.
Well, we're going to try and do exactly that. And thank you for joining us. 8-bit supremacy, Robbie Coleman. Not bad.
John's will be better.
John, we love you, and we don't want you to misconstrue how good Robbie's intro and outro is compared to yours. So, Mr. Coleman, have a good day.
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
I didn't hang up yet.
Bye.
All right, bye. See you later.
I said good day.
I said good day. All right. So here's what I suggest. First of all, Mark Reichert says, King or Armor King all day. I will gladly play him. I think you got a thing or two for a King or an Arbor King. So
Johnny's score.
okay. Mr. Iucci, are you still with us?
I'm still here, surprisingly.
So I'm surprised. I'm more surprised than anybody. If I woke up with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now. I believe is the line. Anyway, so the floor is yours.
All right. Let me give you a score for Castlevania, Super Castlevania 4. It's a pretty good game. You know, I enjoyed it as a kid. You know, teenager, growing up. I beat it with my cousin. We had an affinity for Castlevania because we played the first one together. And then we lived together. I lived with him and his parents, and yeah, it was great. So playing it again gives me all the feels. I run through it every once in a while, anyways. I will say it's not. Everyone's like, yeah, it's the best, and it is. But there is, I mean, I will say there are some flaws to the game. It's not a perfect game. As you get to like level B and A, you know, which is 10 and 11, the difficulty ramps up in a way that I find kind of egregious. Like it goes from like a fairly easy game, like, and not easy bad, easy good, easy, you know, having a good time.
Hey, Johnny.
What?
We're having some technical difficulties. You are popping and cracking a lot, and I'm getting people in the chat saying that you're having problems too. Can I call you right back and we can just do this all over again? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know you like to talk. I'm sorry. Let me see if we can get it to be better. I'm sorry. I just don't. I know you're going to talk a lot here, and I don't want it to sound like crap for you. So, 1 second. I'm sorry.
No, let's do it.
All right. If you disconnect, I'll disconnect. I'll call you back. All right. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. It was sounding very poppy and crunchy. So, yeah, those are cows. All right, let me give him a
switch
ring.
Headphones. I thought maybe mine because
No,
mine have batteries and they're
yeah. It's this. Let's see if this is any better. Let's hope. It should be. If not, we'll just call him.
Is this any better?
It's not. Man.
How do we go like
Weird.
2 hours into the show and then all
It
of a
was
sudden-
fine, and then it wasn't. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on here. Hold on. I thought it was just the California accent.
Californians don't have accents.
It's really weird. I haven't
Yeah,
had this problem.
Huh. Let's see.
I'm trying to think if
Yeah.
there's anything on this end that would cause it to act this way. Let
I wonder
me.
if we're just like primetime internet time, and since we're on a internet call, this is stupid.
I don't think that's the issue. I mean, if you wanted to just call in, it would sound worse, obviously. But if you want to just call in or like call me on, what could he call me on? I guess I could try it from my phone. That connects over too. Why don't you try and call me on Discord, and I'll try and answer it from my phone here. And then I'm going to close it out on the laptop. Let me disconnect and you call me back. Or I'll call you back from my phone.
Okay. Do you? So you're gonna call me back on
So-
Discord again? 'Cause
yes.
I'm wondering if Discord is the issue because it has like a high use rate right now.
I do think it might be that. So do you want to just call me?
Do you want me to call your phone? Can I? Let's see.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever works for you is fine.
That might be the best option if there's a lot of traffic on Discord.
So, then I just won't be on my good mic and I'll sound like trash.
That's what I was concerned about.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you let me do this? I'm going to call you through Discord from my phone and see if it's not a computer issue, because I'm kind of eliminating that by doing this. And then if that doesn't work, we'll figure something else out. So give me one minute and I'll call you right back.
Sure thing.
All right.
Bye. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Technical difficulties.
We're a hot mess.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, we always are.
Let's see here. We should be able to hear this.
How's the weather for everybody?
Hold on.
You guys all got some good weather?
You there? I can see you. I can't hear you. Hold on.
I'm not hearing you at all. You are muted.
Yeah, I was muted. I don't know how that happened either. It doesn't sound much better. Are you there?
Yeah, you actually sound a lot worse now.
Yeah, you do too. Okay, so we'll skip this. Why don't I'll just send you...
What we can do, we can try any other call service and see if it's better. I'm also recording my audio, so I can send you just this chunk.
Okay.
Oh, score. Why don't we just go back to normal then? People on the chat can suck it up. I love you guys, but you can suck it up.
All right. We just call him back from the Discord
just
over
go
here?
back to normal like we were. And
all right. I'll call you back.
we can hear him pretty good. It's just kind of a little crackly.
It just...
Stop the track, and I'm going to start a new one, and I can just send you the audio file, and then you can have plain audio.
Sounds good. All right. I'll call you. I'll call you right back.
Yep.
Bye. It sounds like trash on the phone, man.
Maybe
that's
a
awful.
mess, but at least you're a hot mess.
Yeah.
Oh, sir, we are.
Sexy hot mess.
You guys wouldn't have us any other way.
Calibria is fire. If you need a sealed copy of Calibria, I know somebody's got one. I don't know if it's going in for grading or not, but the 32-bit, 32X Hummingbird-based shooter, the only one I think is pretty good. All right, let's. Oh, you there?
I am here.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Actually, sounds fine now. So apparently we just had to do all that shit for 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, I think we just had to ride it out. Okay, so let's start over with your review. I'm sorry to make you do that, but it did sound kind of crummy, and I want to make sure it sounded good for you. So, yeah, you sound great. All right, so, again, the floor is yours.
Okay, so obviously Super Castlevania 4 is amazing. It's a great game. I played it with my cousin. We played the original Castlevania together. I lived with him as a young teenager, and I have all the feels. We went through this game together, so I've got a lot of nostalgia tied to it. That said, it's not a perfect game. It's wonderful, but it's not perfect. I find like the beginning 8 levels or 9 levels pretty easy, and maybe I just wanted it to be a little harder, so it's a little easy. But then the difficulty ramps up out of nowhere. Especially in the last level, you're just like, these bosses suddenly are difficult, and that I feel like the game doesn't ease you into that very well, because the bosses, especially if you keep the boomerang, are like easy. And then all of a sudden you get this point where you're like, oh man, this when you get to like Slogara, like suddenly it's hard, unless you know exactly what's going on. So that said, all that said, it's still a 5. It's still a 5. I just think it has a couple of flaws, and I would be remiss if I was like, okay, it's not, it doesn't have a couple issues.
It's always tough when I rate games, because we talked about Zelda 2, right? And I like Zelda 2. I liked it more than I thought I was going to. I rated it a 5. Is it a perfect game? No, but on a scale, I would put it at a 5, just like you're saying here, right? Like, it's not a perfect game. And you would make a great point. Like, you get to that section with like the gears, the harkening back to Dracula's Curse, that part of the game where I think, was it Jeremy Parrish that did he does the retrospective videos, and he's like, Super Castlevania 4 is because 1 and 3 got smashed together, and that's how you got 4, kind of. But that level that you're talking about, like, it's called like A1, it's really like level 10 or 11 or whatever it is. Man, what a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? Like, it does. It goes from...
If you mess up at all, you're just dead. It's game over.
Oh, yeah.
Start again.
Yep.
It's the worst.
Yep. I completely... It's just... there's nothing I hate worse than that, to say, okay, like, I should be able to be off by a little bit, or this one thing happened. Like, that's the worst to me. So I agree with you. But all right, well, we've got you down for a 5.0.
That's a clean sweep.
Yep.
That is a clean sweep. I'm not surprised by this.
So,
at all.
Johnny, apparently you picked one of the best games ever for us to do.
It's not perfect.
It's great. I did debate trying to get you guys to do Symphony of the Night, but it's pretty long, especially if you 200%. So I was like, maybe not.
That's going to be on the list someday, though. I'm sure of it. It has to. We'll have you back on for that one. We won't do it till we talk to you. How's that? I will tell anybody else no.
You can have me back for any Castlevania game you want, and I'm probably one of the few people who really loves Castlevania too. So I'm happy to talk any Castlevania game with you.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. So with that, we have our ratings wrapped up.
Yep. 5 across the board.
So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to say, Jay, why don't you tell us where we can play it today? And then Johnny, I want you to go over the collecting stuff that we've compiled in the notes, because I don't think there's anybody on this call that knows more about collecting Castlevania, Super Castlevania 4 than you. So before we get to that, Jay, why don't you tell us where we can play this game today?
Pretty quick. So, of course, Super Nintendo, i.e. in front of us here, amongst the shitty graded games. The Super Famicom. You can play it on the Virtual Console, kind of, on the Wii, the Wii U, and the 3DS.
You could have.
Yeah, you could have.
The new 3DS, maybe. I don't know. Is that one still out there? The other ones are dead.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you can play it on the Super NES Classic. That's North American and the European version only.
Yeah, it's not on the Japanese version of the Classic. I don't understand that.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Maybe they couldn't get, Dracula to sign off on something.
Might have been. It might have been a contract issue with him.
It was one of those. It's been 100 years. He's busy. The other 99 years he's not busy, but that 100th year he's got a lot
I
going
can't do it
on.
this year. I've got other commitments.
He is the proprietor of the House of Evil. I've heard.
There you go.
So,
and then of course, one more spot that you have in front of us is the Castlevania Anniversary Collection.
and that one's an interesting one to me because that is multi-platformed, right?
Yes.
So you can play it on the Switch or the PS4 or whatever, but you can play it on the PC. It's on Steam. And that's always so weird to me. Like, to play these games on a PC that isn't like an emulator where it's like legitimate, it's just weird. I don't know why that is. Do you get that feeling too, Johnny? Do you ever run into that?
No, because I don't ever play anything on Steam, so I wouldn't know. I also say you can play it on the Xbox as well, because you can buy it on as a digital download on Live.
Right. I mean, I should have added that as well. But like the modern gaming platforms, it's available for the in the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. I just find it odd that it's something you can play on the PC. Jay has a copy of this game. You have a copy of the Castlevania Anniversary Collection.
I do.
Yeah, on Switch.
I do, and that's actually how I played it. I mean, I played it over at your house too. That's how I played it at home.
Yep, that's the one we picked up when I was down in Atlanta. I forget the name of the store down there, but whatever. Trading games or
yours
something.
is still sealed, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not opening that thing. Why open it?
Oh shit! I ripped mine open 2 minutes after you handed it to me.
I know.
Looking at the poster.
Did you buy the big box?
I didn't get the big box. I actually didn't pre-order it at all. I just wound up going into a store that had it down I think it was Buford, Georgia was the store right outside of Atlanta. And they had two of them. Jay and I had just been talking about it. And I'm like, I really should have ordered that. I didn't buy any of that stuff. I don't buy a lot of that limited run stuff. I'm always like, yeah, I'll order it. And then I never do. But then I go to like Best Buy and buy Panzer Dragoon Orta, just like the raw game or whatever. And then this one, we just happened to stumble across a good deal on two of them. So I bought them both.
Yeah, they were actually cheaper than what they were going for.
Oh, considerably, which was weird because they were like $75 when they were selling for well over $100, and then they had Panzer Dragoon Saga in their store for like $1,500, and I'm like, where do you guys get your prices from?
A dartboard.
Yeah, and it will be available in a regular edition at Best Buy with I think the Castlevania 3 cover on it.
Oh, okay.
You'll be pick that up in December.
Oh,
cool.
Interesting. I did not know that. Yeah, so like I said, I just have the anniversary one there. The Switch, whatever that one is, that looks like the NES box. So, all right. So that's where to play it. I'm sorry?
I said, yeah, it's a good one.
It's full of good ones, including this one.
Yeah.
So, Johnny, tell me a little bit about... I'm sorry?
Sorry. I said, I'm sorry. I'm gross. I bought the whole big one from Limited Run Games.
There's not... Look, there's...
Complain about them. I love Castlevania, so it didn't matter.
There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm going to tell you, our friend Matt
got one.
Matty Ice from the Matty Ice and Marky Mark podcast. He got one, and I'm kind of like wishing I would have. So yeah, I'm. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so collecting. Tell me a little bit about the collecting of this game, Mr. Iucci.
Sure thing. So one thing to know. Like, this is the big thing, and we're talking about strictly buying it on Super Nintendo, not any of these weird compilations. It comes in two versions, and that's the made in Japan, which is earlier, and then the assembled in Mexico, which is Majesco. You want the made in Japan one because the quality on those ones are usually better. The assembled in Mexico ones, the labels are usually grosser, like the backs, just the boxes, the printing. It's just
The manual's black and
usually
white, right? The cover's black and white on the manual.
it's just not what you want. I mean, in a pinch, if you find a good deal, take whichever one you can find. But in general, if you're being choosy, grab the made in Japan one. Loose, you can grab. Then there's no real differentiation right now from people, but there will be. So
At some
choosy
point,
moms choose Jif.
yep.
And
At some
if
point,
I
it
need
will
Japan-
matter, and you'll be glad that you bought the made in Japan version. That is true. On a game like this, it will matter eventually.
Yeah, so $45 you can pick up a cart, like 175 ish. You can get one in box, and then if you want one sealed, you can pay from 500 to 1,000 depending on the quality of that seal and what you're looking to get.
Yep.
And then, do you want me to get into the population reports too? Because it's weird. It's one of the most. It's top 20 most rated Super NES games, which makes sense because it's Super Castlevania.
Yep.
Like, in fact, that's not like the top 5 is kind of baffling.
I think that's just because when you look at a population report, it has something to do with the popularity of the game, but in the sealed world, it has
And
more.
availability.
It has to do with dead stock, right? Well, how many?
And people open this one.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
People like it.
Yep, exactly. And then look at F-Zero. The player's choice version of F-Zero is probably one of the 3 most graded games on Super Nintendo because there's still more dead stock than there are people who want it nowadays. So
Many. There's so many there.
Yep.
And like old Mario Karts.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a high one.
Yep.
Anyways, population report. Made in Japan, there's 9. Assembled in Mexico, 35, which makes sense because it was later. So that means it was coming out when people were less interested in purchasing it.
Mm-hmm.
The best grade on the Made in Japan one is a 9.68 plus. Why? Because the box probably looks nicer because it wasn't made in Mexico.
Even though there were
and
more in Mexico, it didn't make the grade.
Yeah, I mean, in a Mexico factory, not specifically just because Mexico. I mean, just the production runs out of there are bad. But anyways, the made in Mexico ones, the Majescos are 9.4s. A++ is your high grade. And then if we get into gross territory and start talking about graded games, the assembled in Mexico Majesco, there's 7.5 A+, went for $576 back in April of this year. And then a 9.4, same assembled in Mexico, that A+, 9.4 A+, $3,360. That was April 23rd, so not much longer. Look at that price jump from a 7.5 to a 9.4. But here's
The real price
trick,
jump.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the real trick. Made in Japan, early production, 9.6 A+. $10,000 April 22nd. So while that $3,000 is a big jump from the $500 one, it is significantly less than the $10,000 one that sold just a day before it. So something to consider.
I think this speaks to a lot. And I mean, like, obviously I listen to you and your show and Tyler and everybody on there on the Collector's Quest. And I think that generally what you guys promote is to say, and I know Tyler is a very big proponent because he's gone into the deep end of the earliest firsts of this and that. But when you see it here, I think this is kind of a precursor of what you can expect eventually, because there's such a small disparity between those two, but because one is made in Japan and is early production, it's 3 times as expensive, right? It's just so much more money. Yep. And all those both those auctions ended within a day of each other. But you see, it's no different than the sticker seal Marios and the first run this and that. Get the first prints or the early prints of things now if you can too, because if not that you should care for this point, this is not why. It's just going to be more desirable later, and you're going to wish that you would have gotten it when you could, as opposed to having to shell out a bunch of money later because you want it. So
it is. We always say, like, get the earliest and best version that you can afford, and if you can't afford it, I know, like, waiting is hard. It's like hard to tell people wait and save your money in like today's market. Now though, things are kind of falling, so maybe that's still true.
Yeah.
But with Castlevania, like, really, just get the early one. Just do yourself a favor and get the early one. If you're buying it sealed, like, you're gonna have to do what you got to do if you see a good price on a sealed one. But if you're buying it CIB and the price isn't really a difference, even if it's $50 more, You're gonna like that you spent that extra money.
You're gonna wish that you did, because some picky bitch later is gonna go, oh yeah, I have the Majesco, that's garbage, and then no one will buy it. Anyway,
Aren't you happy you have the one you have?
I should be able to do all the promotion and be like, hey, this is the earliest print run available, blah blah blah. Rather,
yep,
not Majesco. You'll be able to write things like that.
not Majesco, right? Made in Japan, not Majesco. And then you'll be rich behind.
Well, to be fair, if I'm looking through auctions and someone calls that out, that does catch my attention. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the better version.
It makes your life easier when you're looking for something too.
Right, exactly. Because I'm squinting at pictures, like trying to see prints on the back of boxes. I'm like, which one is this?
Yep.
There's not like a super obvious difference, and there is the early print one from Japan looks a little. I always find the print looks a little darker, but
yep,
maybe that's.
And
if the box is silver, it's PAL. So don't buy that one.
Don't buy it at all. That is not your PAL, buddy.
I own it. It's great. Look, man, Konami games in silver boxes are iconic, and you could have that with Castlevania. And they all look nice together.
Man, you're gonna make me buy this, aren't you?
I mean, I'm not gonna make you buy it, but I'm just saying you can put Castlevania 1, 2, 3, and now Super Castlevania 4 right next to each other. Beautiful silver boxes.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll make a note of that here as I write beautiful silver boxes, and I'm gonna put a heart around it, and then I'm gonna just put a little smiley face by it, so I remember.
I'm your Trapper Keeper.
That's right. With my kittens on the front of it. All right. So.
Lisa, yeah, man. Yeah. You want to talk about something that's collectible? Lisa Frank Trapper Keepers. Woo.
They are.
I know. I'm not kidding. People are gonna think that's a joke.
I remember not too long ago getting online and going, I remember Trapper Keepers. Let me take a look. And then there were some of them were just worth nothing, and others were just I'm like, what's happening? People
Seriously?
are buying. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
People will buy Trapper Keepers.
Oh.
Look up Lisa Frank. She's a famous designer. She's the one who did all the neon in there. Famous designer and sought after.
Yep. Well, more.
I'll have to check into those.
The art snob, Johnny Iucci, telling us all about the great artists of the Trapper Keeper era.
If you're going to buy a Trapper Keeper, there's only one artist for me, and that's Lisa Frank.
Thank you. Oh, I needed that. So, Jay, I have a question for you. Do you remember who made the Trapper Keeper? Who was it by?
Sir Isaac Trapper Keeper.
No. Johnny, do you know? I believe Mead. I believe Mead made it.
Yes, Mead did.
Yeah, I believe it was, because Mead was based out of Dayton, and we drove down past it, and I was like, that's where all the Trapper Keepers are made.
God damn, $250.
Trapper Keeper factory. Oh my God.
You think that van is full of jeans or truck is full of jeans? Yes, it's exactly that, where I drove past it, and I was like, wow, they make all the Trapper Keepers. I was probably 11 or whatever, So
back in my day, our Trapper Keepers had kittens on them and pink neon, and that's how we liked it.
It is how we liked it. Damn it.
Yeah.
I miss those days. I don't really.
$95 one sold for.
Yeah.
So when you're out there garage selling, kids, and you see that Trapper Keeper, you're like, oh, fuck that. No, you're wrong. If it's pick it up.
Yeah, consistently between $80 and $100+ for these Lisa Frank ones.
I rarely go to a garage sale, see something that's 30 years old in nice condition, and leave it anymore, because I'm just like, surely if it's 35 years old or whatever it is, somebody wants it. I don't care what it is anymore.
Hell of a drug. Yeah, sure, it might be some neon seal on the cover of that Trapper Keeper, but someone's paying you $50 for it.
Yes. Yep.
Don't
Absolutely.
question that. Just buy it.
Yep. Some clown out there who is an idiot about Trapper Keepers like I am about video games would buy it. So anyway, speed running. Jay's over here in astonishment. He cannot believe what people are paying for Trapper Keeper.
Yeah, it's a Trapper Keeper. I'm done.
You're welcome for that internet black hole.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know I'm going to be falling asleep tonight. I'm looking at eBay ooh, I do need a Trapper Keeper. Maybe I need the Lisa Frank.
Unicorns.
You know what I was thinking
if I don't buy the Lisa Frank one, I'm an idiot. I'm stupid not to buy it.
I was thinking we could old school it. Next show, we could put up Trapper Keepers. Remember how you used to do that in school? A bunch of these young bastards won't remember that.
Yeah, you made your own little fort.
You made your own little fort. You made your Trapper Keeper.
Of course. Fort. I was in my castle. You cannot infiltrate. like Simon Belmont would try to come in there and whip me, and I'd be like, "Look, okay, I'm not Dracula. This is just Trapper Keeper. Leave me alone." None of that happened. Okay,
I feel sorry for this generation that just doesn't know that if you didn't have a Trapper Keeper, you weren't shit. Trapper Keeper, like
Nope.
you felt cool. Like it was a whole selection process. You went to wherever you were buying your school supplies that year, and man, you poured over those Trapper Keepers. It was a tough choice. You're like, man, which one am I getting? Am I getting like a baseball player on this one? Am I getting a sweet car? Maybe it's just some cool neon design. I don't know. Tough choice.
the ultimate power move is just to walk up to a kid with no Trapper Keeper and rip that Velcro and just look at him and be like, "That's right. You just have shitty folders, you poor."
Tennis shoes and Trapper Keepers. That was your status symbol back then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Oh.
Anyway, so I think we have to talk about speedrunning, and then we can wrap up.
Sounds like speedrunning time.
Yeah. So Jay, why don't you talk to us about the speedrunning of this game?
Sure. I could do that. So, speedrunning. So we had 160 people do it, 160 players.
What, speedrun?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
We had 992 runs.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Compared to the Godzilla games that we did last week, that's a lot.
Yeah,
a
what
lot.
we have for the Godzilla games? Like 12?
Less.
8?
Many less. I don't want to even think about it ever again. Go
I
ahead.
don't think we should remove that episode. But
Yeah.
either way. So as far as the run type goes, so we have any percent for the first loop. So that's just running.
There's 2 loops to this game, right?
Loop-de-loop.
The second one is harder than the first one.
Yes. So with the
That's
first.
most Castlevania games, so.
Yeah.
That was weird. We both said yeah at the same time. So, but any percent first loop, that was done by J_CEE. And he did it in 31 minutes. He or she.
It's a he. I watched this run.
Oh, okay. He did it in 31 minutes and 18 seconds.
Yeah.
So any loop or any percent. Wow. Let me try that again. Any percent, second loop was done by Joe D'Amelio. And he did it. And
You can nail the Italian names, but man, don't put a Japanese name in front of Jay. He looked at that and said Joe D'Amelio. I looked at that 5 times before I could pronounce it, but you put a Japanese name in front of Jay and he'll butcher the fuck out of it.
Yep. That's why Juan Franco.
That's right, Juan Franco, the former pitcher for the Mets.
Yes.
Sorry, Joe D'Amelio, second loop, any percent.
He did it in 32 minutes and 52 seconds.
Correct.
Then any percent for both loops, again, was Joe D'Amelio. And then he did it in 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 17 seconds.
It would have been hilarious if it had been like Joe D'Amelio.
George,
You give the Spanish double L and just screw everybody up. Wait, what happened? I thought it was Joe D'Amelio.
yeah, Joe D'Amelio. Forget about it. So, and all those were from speedrun.com.
Yeah, very good. So that brings us to the end. So, Mr. Iucci, I want to say thank you for joining us. Do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Sure. First, thank you guys very much for having me on your show. Hope it's not the last one. Hope we get through this together. But in these tough times, if we don't, you know where you can find me for some solace is on the Collector's Quest podcast. You can find me on Instagram under Johnny_Iucci. And yeah, you can also find us on the Collector's Quest Discord. So I'm not going to go into a promotion for that, but if you are here, you know how to get there.
If you want to give them between $2 and $6 on Patreon, which is patreon.com/Collectors Quest podcast, you will get exclusive access to the Discord, where you can hang out with nerds like us all day.
Just the best people. What you get really is access to the best people who collect video games. And
I would
$4
agree.
is the sweet spot.
Yes,
as
$4 is the sweet spot.
as Valber points out.
And then you're on Instagram as well. Personally, I know you don't post a lot on there, but you have more so recently.
I mean, I go through phases, right? I just took a little break because I'm ramping up. Also, like, normally I just show what I buy, and people are always like, oh, God, sorry.
That's okay. Got a little alarm.
Normally I just, I have to take it's my medicine alarm because I'm an old man and I forget to take. So, yeah, it's Halloween time, so I'm not buying stuff that I want to show yet. Normally I just here's a stupid I bought. Like, yes, I could go into my collection of 10,000 games and show you all the good stuff, but it is way more fun to show just the dumbest shit that people like myself spend money on.
Silly bands.
Because you can go to any Instagram and be like, oh, Mario 3, that one's really good.
Do you remember that game? Do you remember it?
Yeah, do you remember these ones, guys? Remember them? Remember these ones? Everyone liked them. They were so good. Yeah. No. How about I show you the Bernstein Bears from the game? Huh? You want extreme sports? Extreme sports Bernstein Bears? No. Well, you didn't know you did, but you do.
Now you,
Okay,
yep, you saw it, and now you got to have it.
Yeah.
Well, man, thank you for the impassioned ending to this.
You've been listening to the LGN podcast. That's LGN.
That's right, exactly. Thank you for that. Make sure you let everybody know to listen to LGN as well. So in your cars or your boats or whatever it is that you listen.
Can you find us on Video Sage?
Yeah, you find them on
Default
Video
LJN.
Sages, double S. Video Sages, double S. And that's the Lost Guys Network, LGN.
The Last Guys Network. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining us. We obviously appreciate you coming on. It's been great to get the chance to talk to you. I hope we can do it again soon. I will most certainly be in contact.
Don't say it. Don't say it. It's going to happen.
Okay.
We're just going more along the lines of you might hang up tonight and be like, holy shit, what did I just waste 2 hours for?
No, he's talking about killing our podcast. I think.
But we're saying we hope we get to do it again because you aren't like, oh my God, I'm never going back here again.
No,
It does.
you've heard my podcast, right? Like,
No.
like we
Never
do a
heard
whole
it.
After Dark section where Tyler and I talked about statues we were looking at on the internet, and we had a good time.
And people pay money to
Okay.
listen to that extra content.
We need to do, I think we need to do a crossover episode and do a live stream of me and Tyler seeing who can get through Mike Tyson's Punch Out first.
Ooh,
I
man.
haven't beat Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
I haven't.
What is wrong
No.
with you people?
I have about 100 million times. I've told that story many times. But yes, and I did it on a live stream here, not when our friend Matt was on.
Yeah.
Matt and I beat it back to back, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I've never beat it.
Yeah, I
Never
know.
done it.
He's trash. That's why he's the co-host. You don't get full host naming rights until you beat Mike Tyson.
Is Tyler a co-host too?
He does a lot more work than you.
I'll just host. I'll just host.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about the next game we're going to do and our guest.
Okay.
So we're going to do a show in a week, right? We're actually going to move it up. We moved this one up, I think, actually. I don't remember.
No,
Whatever.
this was moved
no,
up.
that's
this
right.
one's normal. I mean,
This is
we
the normal.
shuffle days
This is
around
the
and
normal.
all that,
Yeah.
but-
So we're actually going to do a show next week. It's going to be Thursday, September 15th. And we are going to be joined by the one and only Milwaukee Retro Gamer, who I see in the chat now, Mr. Kalen McAteer. So Kevin McAllister from Home Alone is going to join us in studio here next Thursday. And we are going to discuss, foreshadowing from earlier, Arkanoid.
Where'd I put those?
Who cares?
Oh, they're up
We
there.
all know what the Arkanoid looks like. So, yep, good old Kalen. We're excited to see you. And excited to have you in the studio. And he and I, and possibly Jay, and God knows who else around here, are going to go parade around and do some video game shopping when he's in town. So definitely looking forward to that and taking that Thursday and Friday off. And we're going to fucking party, man. We're going to fucking play Arkanoid, and we're going to go video game shopping, and we're going to come home and go to bed, and we're going to do it all again the next day.
Am I coming with you guys?
If you can make it.
Saturday, pretty sure. Friday, possibly. Saturday's probably going to be my day.
All right. Well, I think he said he's leaving because he doesn't like you then.
Oh, well. Okay.
Anyway, and I will also say I don't think we'll have a show the following week because it sounds like I'm going to be in Chicago. So for our
work.
friend Robbie out there, Kaylin is supposed to bring some stuff for Robbie home, but I'll probably be taking it myself potentially because I'm going to be there for a week, the week of the 19th.
I think Kalen's driving through Chicago. He should just pick Robbie up on the way. Robbie
Yeah.
will be live in studio, too.
We've been trying to get Robbie out here, and this all he has to do is jump in the car. But anyway, so Jay, where can the people listening to us now find us?
We have a link tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that work?
Oh, it's you go to the website. So it's
What's a website? That sounds like something for old people.
it is. It's on the interwebs.
Johnny, give him the back in my day. People went to the web.
Friday, we went to the market and we socialized in the checkout line. We looked at magazines. They used to print them on paper.
Oh, they had writers back then.
That's awesome.
Anyway,
People cared about the English language. Now it's all of your twits and your tweets and your emojis. I hate it.
I want to burn it all to the ground, which we are kind of doing right now. Anyway, Linktree.
Yeah, it's actually it's linkter.
Yes.
.ee.
Yeah. For those writing this down.
/ Lost Joystick.
Okay, excellent.
Linkter.
Get all your Linkters at Lost Joystick is I think how it works.
You gotta make sure to type that slow. You don't want a spastic linkter.
No, that doesn't sound like anything anybody
No, it is not. If you just want to go to the social media because you can't type linkter, Instagram and Twitter's Lost Joystick.
Yep.
So you just search Lost Joystick on Instagram or Twitter.
That's true.
Or the tweeter, as Johnny so graciously put it. Or you can go to Facebook or Twitch, and it's Lost Joystick Network. And we have an email.
Yeah.
And you're still more than welcome. We're not going to send you shit. But you're still more than welcome to email us, buy me Bonestorm or go to hell.
If someone does, I'll send them something.
Oh, shit. Go ahead then.
I have.
So it's info at
Go-
lostjoysticknetwork.com.
And I'm going to tell you, I just took 7 tubs of Super Famicom games to my storage facility.
Somebody's got a problem.
No, I mean, it's a solution to somebody's problem. But if anybody's interested, I've got plenty of stuff. I'd be happy to provide at a greatly discounted rate.
I bet Clearvis would like some games.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
Some more.
That's exactly right. So with that, I think it's time to bid you
Wait.
all farewell. No, it's not. It's not time.
No,
Wait.
I want to tell them, also, for just the people on the Patreon, you can cut it for everybody else. So the people on Collector's Quest Discord, you guys feel free to, I'm going to make an episode channel for Lost Joystick Network until they make their own Patreon, so you guys can discuss their stuff there.
Wow. Man, I feel like
I'm not suggesting none of your fans should pay me for your show, but the people who I know are in our podcast who are already there.
I feel like we
that
should
way
pay you
we
for
cover
our
it.
show.
No, you guys are great. I told you, you're like a co-podcast to ours, and I like it a lot. So
I appreciate that.
That's awesome, Johnny. Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
That means a lot. So, and we definitely look forward to posting all kinds of stupid bullshit in that channel. So make sure it is unmoderated.
Robbie wants to get paid.
It's going to be titled LGN.
LGN.
The Lost Joystick Network.
No, the Lost Guy Stick Network.
I don't know about the Guy Stick part. Doesn't sound good.
Lost Guys Network.
Lost Guys Network.
Can we call it UGN? Use Guys Network.
That's too close to UPN, and nothing good ever came out of that.
UPN. Oh, UPN. Is
yeah. There you go.
Vampire Slayer.
Oh
Those
yeah.
Guys Network. Get there.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's got me there. Shit. All right. Damn.
There you go. No, that's awesome. Thank you, Johnny.
Very good. All right. So now am I good to send off?
Yes.
Johnny?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes. I just take over your podcast and tell you when you can stop. This is what I do. Get me out of here.
Stop trying to put an end to this. We're gonna go all night, buddy. All right. Let me close it out, and then I'm gonna obviously edit all this chunk out. But let me close it out, and then we can chat for a minute after. So hold on one second. All right. So I'll try that again. That's the wrong button. My finger slipped.
Let's do that one first. Go ahead.
Those are not very loud. I got to keep them down. Okay, here we go. So with that, I bid you all farewell. And I will say, go out there, have fun, be safe, and be excellent to each other. All right. Bring on the whores.
Oh, hey.
Okay, I was just kidding. There are no whores. I don't. As far as I know, there are none.
Hey, take money for sex.
So glad you're here.
You know, as a matter of fact, Robbie did say pay me earlier, so maybe that's what we're going.
Robbie's getting insistent that he needs to be paid. I'll tell you what, bud. You get 25% of all the money I've made. Also, 25% of the bills from the show.
Excellent news.
Do you think that these
Robbie, I'm the whore.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think this 8.0 River Raid just pays for itself? Okay? It's because of stupid people who send me money. Nobody sends me any money.
That's how I feel about the Bernstein Bears. I'm like, thank you, patrons. You helped enable this. You pack of enablers.
This is all your fault. You're the reason
That's
I'm
actually
here.
The only games I've ever bought with the Patreon money are games that I sent to Tyler.
Really? Like the waifu simulator and stuff.
No, that was a Christmas present. I paid for that.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah.
So, but I sent him like a Resident Evil, and I forget. I sent him Double Dragon. I gotta find him another one because he's so damn picky. But,
Really,
like,
Tyler's
I planned
picky?
extension. Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, anytime I find it, but like what I did was I used most of our patrons want to know what I used money on. It's like, all right, well, let's get a hotel, and that way Tyler can fly out and he doesn't have to pay for. Or we got an Airbnb, but that way he doesn't have to pay. I'll pay his share, and then just use that money for that kind of stuff, or to enable it to see people.
Yeah, or pay for something like the table right at a show to say, okay, like like I don't have to worry about the bill there. Like that enables people to be able to walk up, say hello, interact, whatever. So yeah, I get it.
Yep, and we'll have a table in Portland where Tyler will refuse to be, but you'll be able to find me, and I'll have some stickers and some buttons.
I want to go so badly, but it's like the timing of it is so poor for me because.
Just come. Who cares? Fly in, fly out.
But I'll be in Mexico, I think.
Why?
Because I want a trip from work and I have to go because they're paying for everything.
It's like some bougie all-inclusive fancy trip.
So do it from the Monday on. So take your Saturday and set in Portland, and then have them buy you the ticket out of Portland to Mexico.
He's got a good argument.
Stop looking at me with that face like, hey, that's a good idea, Jay.
Just saying.
Yeah. We'll see. I would really like to go out to Portland anyway. I have a good friend I used to work with that lives out there too, and like seeing you isn't reason enough. But and I would also like to get out there and deride all the people on Whatnot. So because I'm sure they'll all be there in droves.
I kind of want to go for that because I always want to punch him.
I talk so much shit. I'm gonna probably get punched in the face.
Well, maybe I should go then too, so I can be your muscle.
Yeah.
Sure.
He said, "All right, perfect."
All right.
Yeah, excellent. We can all go have dinners. We're getting there on Thursday morning, and we're just like anyone who wants to come hang out with us.
What are the dates?
That's what we're doing.
All right, Collector's Quest Patreons.
14th.
Throw in $2 for me to fly there.
October what? Is it October 14th?
Yeah, I'll tell you the exact dates.
Man, that's actually a few weeks before the trip.
14th is when you can get into the arcade, but it's the 14th, 15th, and 16th. We will actually be there the 13th, so we'll be there Thursday. We're flying out early on Monday morning, so you can't really see us Monday, but I'm happy to hang out with whoever, and then for people who are there, they can bring their bags. Like if you got something, you're like, hey, Johnny, can you hold this at your table? Because I'm walking around, my arms are full. I'm just going to be like, yeah, if there's room, like within reasonable limits, like if I have room, yeah, let's do it. I just want to like make a space for people who like the show to come hang out.
Let me see what I can pull off. Let me see what I can do here.
Kalen's baiting you to Midwest Gaming Class.
Oh, Johnny's coming to that now. You should have just come out this last year. You could have fucking stayed with me in my like psychopath, crazy, huge hotel room I wound up with. Kalen knows he wound up there. Matteo too. It was awesome.
Didn't they screw something up? That's why you got some big crazy room. Oh,
I don't think so.
I want to. That's on the list. I told Tyler, and he's like, I don't know, but I plan on going this year. Like last year it was like a little sketchy. Like maybe I'm not traveling, but now it's kind of like, well, fuck it. Yeah.
No, I was with you, and it was. Yeah, we were supposed to go when it all shut down. I was ready to go finish off my loose NES set, before prices exploded. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to Midwest Gaming Classic. I'll buy some stuff there. Yeah, then it closed down. Then everything went up 100%, and I was like still trying to find half of it. I'm like, God damn it. Anyway, the Calibri suite. That's right. Yeah, that's what it'll be. It'll be the Hummingbird-based 32X shooter suite. That's what it will be.
Nice.
So awesome, man. Everything else good? How's the weather?
It's hot. If you didn't know,
it's hot here too. No, I'm sorry. Awesome. So
I went full shit on bottom mode, so that was nice. Normally, on our podcast, I try not to because I don't want to like push people off. But man, I get so mad. It's so like, and I love so many of the guys there, like Dan, and I'm friends with Dennis. I don't think they're bad people. I just like that's all marketing, and it's just. Bad marketing makes me upset wherever I see it.
It just feels gross, right? You're like, oh, that doesn't, like, ugh. I know
it's not true. It's patently false, and we all know it. So just say like, why, don't call it the definitive list. Like also that boxes you win, you can't make other decisions. You're like, yeah, we did the best job we could possibly do. So like, what
This is
then?
it.
What you have to sit on your pride and be like, no, we can't change it.
It's beyond reproach.
Like,
It's definitive.
yeah, I just want to be like, hey, this is the list now, and if we like, and we're always evolving and getting better. That's always my tact. Like, I don't understand locking yourself up.
Yeah. No, I agree, but it's just like you said, it's all marketing. It's all, look at how wonderful what we do and how smart it is and this and that. I know, I agree with you. So anyway, man.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at
supremacy is coming hard. They suck his asshole. That's generous of them.
Listen,
There's not a lot of asshole sucking that happens in the world. I think you're in a low tier, like a low percentage tier of people that have that happen.
I agree, and I will also say, if you're looking for a fucking take that's caliente, Senor Supremacy is going to provide it. He's not one who generally holds his tongue on things, unless he's sucking a company's asshole like water or something. I don't.
Yeah. He doesn't. You know what I like about him? And when he is sucking butthole, he definitely doesn't hold his tongue. That's my favorite part about it.
It's the best part about it. I was thinking that myself. Like earlier before the show, and I thought to myself, okay, I can't even finish that fucking comment. But yeah,
I mean,
no.
Look, that's just him being a generous lover, and that and that's what we're all here.
I just like that you keep pushing it. Like you're like, okay, the joke's not over. It's not a joke though. It's true. All or nothing, baby, says Robbie. We really got to work on John's intro.
Already had.
Yeah, we had a. We'll talk about that.
I am mad at you about that.
Yeah, well, too bad.
Dickhead.
You still could have done a better job than that. You puked all over it.
Yeah, I had a whole different plan than that.
It's really all my fault.
It is.
I get my stunt double to do all the asshole sucking. Listen, I've seen some of those chicks on the internet. Don't have them do all of it. There's some good stuff on that internet. No, anyway. How is the little one? You said 3.5, right? How's he doing?
4, gonna be 4 to start. He's great.
Oh, that's right.
He's the best. Like he's legit the best. If you want an ego boost every day, he comes to work with me every day and goes to daycare, and like every day I go to get him and he's just like, Dad, you're here. Every time I walk through a door, it's just like, Dad, you're awesome. And it's like, oh man,
I know.
That's so cool. Like no one is this excited for me. Like,
yeah, we weren't.
Not even the dog. So it's just like, man, I feel like the most important person in the world every single day.
Let me ask you this: you have quite a few video games at your house, and in general, I mean, relative to the normal person, like what did somebody say? Like in the retrospect, I know more about. Wasn't it you on the show that you were like, yes, I know more about this than. What was it?
About Bubble Bobble.
Yes, you're like, I know more than the general public. Yes, like, but
I'm like. More about Bubble Bobble, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I guess most people don't fucking know about Bubble Bobble.
Exactly.
Let me qualify.
Of the 1% of the 1% that know what it is, I know more than them too. But I'm just talking in generals. No, so what are things that you're out looking for right now? I mean, you can talk about it here because this is not going to be,
I mean, I don't care. I talk about everything I'm trying to buy.
Yeah,
because I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
and I like to make it harder.
I like to make my life difficult.
So I'm not like looking for heaps. So like right now I'm talking to a guy who has got a bunch of Vita games for me, and I could go spend a large chunk of money on Vita games, which is kind of the worst, but it would also nearly complete my set. He's got about 100.
Wow.
And I have about 120, or I have about 150 or 160. It would put me like 20 games from the set. So I could go knock that out, but it's a lot of money. And it's like, okay, so I kind of have to like talk to my wife about that kind of sum of money, because it's like north of $4,000. So It's not just like nothing. Vita games are kind of expensive.
Yeah, I've seen this.
I've been working on Game Boy Color, slowly here and there. I work on GBA, but the thing I'm 100% knocking out, like without a doubt, is the Wii. I'm just like, I'm so close to
plowing through it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not plowing through. I got to like 150 games away like 7 years ago and just stopped.
Oh,
5 years ago.
Man,
because I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I was like, and it got so expensive, it got hyped up, so I just had to take a break. But now things cooled down, and I'm finishing it off.
How many games are in that set for the Wii?
About 1,200.
1,200.
All right.
Okay.
Is it 1,200? Yeah, I want to say 1,200.
So not anymore. In my brain, the Wii would have this gigantically huge catalog, but that's right around PlayStation 1, isn't it?
Yeah, let me pull up my Wii list.
Your shitty lists.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about your bad lists. They're all bad.
I mean, all lists are bad. That's the point of these lists, right?
Right. It's for them for me to pick nits at them.
Man, like the idea of fixing all the lists is such a daunting one.
Oh my god. Yeah.
You don't even know the nightmares and anxiety it gives me.
And I know you like Jay does probably, I don't know how much you know, but Johnny has written quite a bit as it relates to the Genesis in a list of games. And it's a lot.
1273. So 1272 actually. Yeah, 1272.
Okay.
Is the amount. And and PlayStation is less than that.
But it's not markedly less. I'm always thinking like the Wii is going to be like like every time I see it, I'm like, here's another shoveler title I've never even heard of or some garbage. There's just a lot of stuff on it, but it's not considerably more than the PS1 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, but PS1 is a huge set.
It is.
I mean, the Wii is a huge set too. That's the other thing. Like,
yeah.
It's not the DS, which is more. It's not the PS2, which is more.
Yeah.
But that's like it, as far. I mean, out in America, you go into Japan and things get weird.
I've heard that before.
Yeah. I mean,
on so many levels.
Oh, actually, I take it back. The PlayStation is slightly more. So the PlayStation is 1288.
Okay, so they're close.
That's if you're not counting Lightspan game, I should say.
And
if you count Lightspan, it becomes a different story.
That's the briefcase full of kids' games, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's like a whole I want to say there's like 100 and something Lightspan games. Oh, hold on, I've got a list of Lightspan. Let me tell
Finally, we got to the PS1 Lightspan educational briefcase of games. I've been waiting for this moment. This is the whole reason I tried to get you on the podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Everyone wants to hear about Timeless Math 6 Brainstorm.
That's Tyler would.
or depending on how you pronounce it, it's either Brainswarm or Brains Warm.
It could be both. I've never. Yeah. Maybe there's. Oh man. Where's it go on the list?
I prefer worms.
Where's it go on the list?
Worm brains.
I worked on a game called Dragon Shard, which is a tactical kind of RPG.
I can see where this is going.
Not a tactical RPG. Oh my god.
JRPG, turn-based?
No, it's collect resources RPG. Fuck, what just fell out of my brain. Like Civilization and that ilk.
Like a city building type game? I don't know.
Anyways, it's an RPG of sorts where you collect resources to build things, and like Warcraft.
You're talking about, oh man, you made me just forget about it too. Like Command and Conquer. RTS, real-time strategy.
RTS, yes.
That's it.
Fuck.
Yeah, I knew I was going to get it. You said the other thing, and I'm like, I know what he's talking about. I couldn't think of it. RTS, yeah.
Yeah. RTS, real-time strategy.
So you worked on Dragon's Shard.
So anyways, the point of that whole lame-ass story was we would call it Dragon's Hard because the S was questionably placed, right? Like Dragon Shard.
Yes.
But they like mushed the title together. So you could read Dragon Shard or you could read Dragon's Hard, which is way sexier.
Way sexier. Kaylin says, what the fuck? I'll talk Lightspan with you. I thought we were friends. Well, we can talk about it when you get here. Okay. Well, not just the Lightspan part, the friend part. No, I'm kidding, of course. Yeah, anyway, so I don't want to keep you too long. It's getting late here. I think Jay's probably ready to hit it. You
guys are trying to leave? This is what I do. I keep people hostage. That's how we got an After Dark section of our show.
And that's why Tyler's up till 5 a.m. or something, whatever the hell, that poor guy.
I'll let you go. It is time for my son to go to bed, so it's time for me to go give hugs and kisses.
Well, I appreciate your time. We are very grateful for you to be on. Thank you so 100%. Much for everything. And I hope to talk to you soon. Let's not be strangers. And I will definitely we'll work on getting you back on again soon to talk about, what did we say? Symphony of the Night? Whatever you want.
It has to be a Castlevania game.
If you want me on for something, you just let me know, and if I can make it work, I will, of course, make it work. But if you want me to talk about Symphony of the Night, I will carve out of time like I carve a face out of a pumpkin.
'Tis the season.
It is. It's getting there.
Robbie says,
except it's so damn hot out, it just doesn't feel right.
Is it really? Well, it's, you know what? It's actually quite nice here. I'd imagine it's in the high 50s right now.
59 right now. Feels like
nailed
61.
it. I nailed it. It feels like 61, but it's 59.
Currently, it's 9:06 here in California, and it is 84 degrees outside.
The time is 9:06, 84 degrees here in Simi Valley.
But
Got a
gents,
slight southwest breeze.
we'll see you later. Hey, we do have to talk about monies owed to you because I owe you for some games, and if you let me forget, I will forget. So don't. So
I
let's
won't.
take care of it. So I
won't.
have to get off my hate owing people money.
No, it's no problem. Don't worry about it. I'm not stressing it. I just sent them out because I wanted to get them out of here before I forgot, and then we'll figure it out. There were some things you had I was mildly interested in. If not, we can just figure out some money or whatever. I'm not that worried about it. So, cool.
Sounds good.
All right, bud. Well,
Bye,
we'll
guys.
talk soon. Yep. Thank you. Talk to you
Thanks,
soon.
Johnny. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it, man.
Yep.
Hey, good talking to you guys.
Yeah.
It's good talking to you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Now, if I can go hang up. There we go.
We're hanging up with everybody else too.
Yeah, I think it's time. It's past midnight. This one says
sleepy.
3 hours, but truthfully, it's less than
Yeah.
that. So,
I'm sleepy.
well, thanks everybody for hanging out in chat.
Kaylin will
Valdor, I
see
know. is
Kaylin
still-
next week.
Yep, we can't wait to see you, Kaylin. Let's talk. I'll be in the car all day tomorrow. So anybody who's listening that wants to talk to me, I'll literally be in the car for 10 hours with no work stuff. So
Oh, well, there you go.
feel free to give me a call. But Kaylin, if you're free, let's chat about next week if you got a minute. Robbie, as always, let's catch up. And Valdor, you don't have you probably do have my number actually. I put it in chat one day.
There you
So, but it has 3s and 5s in it, so it's perfect for you. And
3s and 5s.
it's got a 3.5 right in it.
There you go.
Anyway, but yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out, and it was great. I had such a fun night with all of you, so I really appreciate it. And we'll see you soon. Bye. I didn't even
See
get him
you,
to say. I didn't
homies.
get Johnny to say bye. He's supposed to say
we
bye.
didn't- Oh well.
Damn it!
That means we gotta get him on again.
Oh fuck!
We just gotta get him on.
I'm not
again.
really that upset about it. It's okay. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be doing that. I'm just kidding.
We'll have him on again.
All right.